going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. Feel like I can never lose, put it all on the line. Every day we gotta choose how we wanna manage time. Yeah, they know I gotta feel it, in order get for me to want it. Nobody can stop me when I put my mind to it, manifest and I own it. I'm going all in.
And welcome back to the Yapping Corner. We had an episode yesterday. It didn't air, but something happened.
Let's give context. Context is we played rock, paper, scissors, right? Hip Brain won. And because he won, he got the host.
And
he
was
called everyone
terrible.
losers. What did you say? What up, losers?
I said,
Yeah.
I could do the intro
But-
now.
well,
but
yeah,
just
yeah,
we'll
That's
do the
what you
intro.
said, but also gonna get cancelled.
No, I won't say the stuff that got us taken off. It wasn't that bad, by the way.
It was awful. I've never had anything like
saying
it.
career-ending stuff. It was
What
just.
was it?
It was just.
It was just something.
It was just stuff I shouldn't have said on the board.
And with
So
that
what
in
was it,
mind,
Goya?
how are we feeling? Let's start with this side.
we not doing
can
my
I have his
opening?
intro first, please?
Yes. Oh, okay.
Go on.
All right, hello. Look, come right here. What's up, you stinky losers? Welcome back to the Hip Brain Corner. It's actually Archer's podcast because I have been banned from hosting the podcast.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
He gave you a
Before we go further, I just want to say, Initialize looks like a guy who Airbnb'd a yacht and pretends he owns that yacht.
I am never recovering from that ever. That's it.
In Portugal.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never recovering from that. That's brilliant.
I have this ability to zero on what people look like and just like pick it apart in a good way.
That's
not always.
great.
In the good way.
I'm feeling good.
Are we feeling
Yeah,
okay?
I'm feeling good
You're
now.
feeling good now.
I'm feeling good. I claim the last dish, as always, every day. No one here on this desk can have it. As long as you've both had 2 dishes, I claim the prawn rice thing.
Nobody knows this back at home,
It
but
doesn't-
out of a sudden you started
but it's-
cleaning the entire studio. Why?
Because it felt good after that best of 5. Because watching
Was
that,
that dirty?
I'm sorry, watching that best of 5 as a quarterfinals, sure, entertaining in some ways, but man, that was a mess.
You needed to see something clean.
That's right. I need to see something clean.
It's not going to be you, is it, Jake? So
I shower every day.
I haven't smelt him once, so I think he's okay.
Well, you can come
It's so
smell me if you
hot.
want.
well, yeah, go on.
No, but I've had a whiff. I've done a
it's
drive-by.
fine.
Okay.
You done a drive?
Is he fine?
Well, did you like it?
It wasn't bad. I mean, it smelled like the hotel soap, whatever that is.
It's honey.
I didn't even bring hotel soap.
No.
No, you don't need to bring hotel
my soap.
soap.
Bring it with you.
I brought soap from home because I got the train. Yeah.
What, from Britain?
Yeah, from Britain, mate. Yeah,
Because you
we-
went
we
from
have the
train, you can
Eurostar.
you can take soap. Is that it?
Yeah, because
can do it on the airplane.
Yeah, but on
Don't
a
get off
flight, you're
track.
limited, right? you're limited on the amount of liquid you can take on a flight.
Yeah.
I can take as much liquid as I like. On the
You can't just put it
Eurostar.
in a suitcase like a normal human. You know,
Yes.
like, that's pretty standard.
I bought a 4-litre bottle of soap.
A 4-liter
Why would you?
bottle.
Why
I
would you
did.
just like
I
a
did.
good suitcase full
I
of
can
soap?
say what I brought. I brought Imperial Lather, if that's what you want to know.
My granddad uses that.
Yeah,
There you
confirm,
go.
is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
So,
Imperial Lemon
We're
is-
not sponsored by soap companies. We're fine.
Let's do something interesting. I want you to describe yourself as a champion.
He's pointing to him.
Okay. Straight up to you, and then you have to describe someone from that side of the table.
So I've got to describe someone else from that. So,
I know
You
exactly
describe
what I'm
yourself
like.
first.
And then someone else.
Okay, well, I am like, who am I even gonna be like? Probably like
Yeah.
Draven, like all talk and like no actual gameplay because I can't. I'm always
But
too
he
obvious.
does hit hard.
That's true. Occasionally, I do have my occasional moments, and we all know what Slurry is because she's the item in the game. Iron, like her rank.
Wow, you did it twice
I did.
already. I hate you,
You
so
wanted to get this
much.
recorded.
Oh
So
my
now
God.
it's you. Pick a champion for you
For
and for
myself.
someone on that side.
I mean, for myself, it's going to be the obvious one, the annoying one from the bot lane. Kind of thinking, kind of was supposed to be the rework for another champion, but you know, it is what it
Seraphine?
is, we get it. Yes.
Sorry.
I've never heard you sing, though.
Oh, you don't.
That's what she
That's good.
Oh my God,
Something
Seraphine
like
lip syncs.
Yeah, I'm actually Seraphine.
So that's Seraphine.
DM.
Who do you pick on that side?
Ooh.
You can get revenge if
It's
you want.
free.
I'm
Yes, you
okay to
can.
stay
Yes,
out
you
of this.
can.
Ooh, that's a rough one. I didn't expect to be the second one. I would need to think about it. I'm not as good as installed as somebody. I mean, somebody has to be good at something, right?
He's aching.
Okay.
He's aching for this opportunity.
No, my turn.
Yeah, you take it.
I'm Ergot. He's Ivan.
I see with the
He's Ivan. I can see
yeah, with the
Ivan.
hair. Yeah, so,
Yeah,
Daisy!
yeah.
Oh my!
I can imagine him being like a,
So
like a
why are you
character
on
in those
Ergot?
movies that said Endgame, and the big tall tree guy.
So
Groot.
Why Ergot?
You can't say that.
Why Ergot?
Why Ergot? I'll put on a bit of weight.
oh, not that much.
Could be Gragas.
I could be. You know what? I change it. I'm Gragas.
Do you know?
I body
Hawaiian
slammed
shirt.
someone in real life before, so that's true.
What? Okay, we'll get onto that later. Do you know? I feel like I'm Briar.
Because you love feet?
I just press W and go. Like there's once you pull the string, I just until I run out of stamina, I'll just be manic.
I don't know if you guys agree with me. Not you. He's Smolder.
Which one? Him?
Yeah.
Oh, you
different.
are?
He's so small, and when you play with him, he's always.
Can you say mum?
Yeah.
Go on.
Mom,
It's him. It's him. He never shuts up.
yeah, well, yeah. Jin never shuts up as well. He's kind of.
But
cool.
I don't think I'm
But he's a
quite
cool
that
one,
psychopathic.
okay?
I feel
Smolder
like
is different. Yeah.
I feel like Solari's closer to Jin than
I'm
you
sorry,
are.
but all champs
What?
these days never shut up.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
I feel like together we're Nunu and Willip.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get on your shoulders at some point?
Yeah, and I'll go, Willem Dafoe.
Dafoe.
But who's the small one?
Really?
Is it I'm Nunu. Oh, no, wait, Willem is the Yeti. I'm
Nunu's
Willem.
Nunu's the kid.
No, yeah, you're Nunu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're Nunu.
Yeah, I think so.
Bro, I could imagine me doing this. Imagine.
We'll do the thing where you lie on the ground and I'll be really sad.
Yeah, but
'Cause that is the most heartbreaking death animation in the
It
game.
is. That is Tristanas
Yeah.
with a
you
dragon.
can
Yeah,
play the,
that's true, that's
you
true,
can play the flute. You're a musician.
I'm a drummer, but
There's
yeah.
got a drum on your belly. It's a difference.
There it is. But that's why I think today's matches were really messy. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Honestly,
I agree with
Because
you.
were doing the
The,
Nunu
the
impression in the
best of
background.
5 was not very good.
Should have played Nunu.
It was not very good, and that's harsh for people at home. But let's be real, like the other series clapped a lot harder. They slapped harder, not because they were more dominant, but because I think the teams that won actually won with, a solid level. Yeah.
The bottom of the bracket.
Yeah, bro. The
Yeah,
bottom
they
of the
won
bracket.
with finesse.
Bro, even BDSA versus KC Blue, even though KC Blue absolutely ran some of the games, and I'm talking to you about you, Abadaga, you're a great player, but bro,
Wasn't great.
you, sir, need a checkup. Like, that was crazy. Yeah, I mean, BDSA looked a lot cleaner. We're still talking about Heretics. I think the difference in the Heretics series is what throws us off, though. Like, they didn't have as scaled opponents.
Yeah.
That's why I'm worried.
I will say as well, I think Geo in their wins looked really good. It was just when they didn't get ahead early, they didn't
Some
look
of their
as
wins,
good.
they look really good. I mean, dude, when you have a mid lane, like the Matchco mid laner,
Vigil had a rough, when the losses it wasn't pretty.
Vigil was crazy.
even some of the wins, the Yasuo game, like, bro, you're gonna watch the VOD. You might watch the VOD, all right? Bro, I might be like mid-plat, and that's okay. You're better than me. I know you're better than me, and I know Italian fans. It's okay. You're better than me at Italian too. You can take that, okay?
That's not a flex.
But
That's not.
but-
Where are you
Speak
going with
Italian.
this?
He's getting
Not
on the
a
pot.
flex,
He's getting-
bro.
I speak Italian. I learned
Go
in
on,
kindergarten.
Please.
Do it. Do it.
Uh,
Yeah, come on.
buongiorno.
Wow.
We got a word.
Arrivederci. That's all we got.
He's out.
But I know the song, cantare. Oh, you know that song?
No, you know, that's not Italian. Oh.
No, but that's the song.
Imagine him going to Italy like,
Yeah, that's the song. So that's why I think it's going to be Team Heretics winning finals.
because you know Italian.
Yeah, because I know Italian.
Because that's the way it works.
It is real. I haven't been to Italy, but I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
It's a good time.
That's one I actually really want to go.
Apparently good all year round.
It's
Huh?
great.
Too
I
easy.
actually, when they did like a content thing with us.
You look like you're Italian, by the way. You look like you've been there and you've done it all, and now you're giving
You
us tour
parked
guide
the
stories.
yacht.
It was just like when they were doing.
I feel he looks like a guy
Who
who
pretends to be Italian.
No, yeah,
I mean,
kinda.
that too,
He looks,
yeah.
he looks like an English dude who's just retired in
I'm a
Europe,
little
in,
young
like
for that.
Southern
Yeah, I'm
Europe.
trying to stay in the industry for at least another year.
I think you could retire at 30.
Don't do that.
It might be time, bro.
No,
it might be time.
Thank
Just
you, Jake.
hang up the mic, Chief.
I'm gonna go cry after this one, but that's fine. I was gonna say that. I was saying like I
Please.
want EMEA Masters finals to go to Italy at some point. I think it'd be super cool.
Oh, that would be
That
cool.
was,
Don't worry.
that was my call for like when they were doing the content thing about where you'd like the finals to be. I
Yeah,
think
I
Italy would
said
be cool.
south of France because LFL's,
I agree.
That'd be
I
nice.
went
That's-
back. I said I want it in Haymarket in Leicester again. That was where it started.
Sorry,
In
you said
Leicester?
Haymarket
The
in Sydney. that's
Haymarket,
like-
Haymarket Theatre is a theatre in Leicester. That's where this tournament started. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 finals there. They were sick. Also, it wasn't that far for me to drive. So I got a little bit of bias.
As long as you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Bro,
be
I'll
comfortable.
give you a lift. Yeah, be in my car.
From the airport.
I mean, I quite like driving my car. I'll come down to Portugal in it.
Yeah, I would be down for that.
Zippy, baby.
Oh.
Got heated seats. They won't really be necessary till England.
Job,
But
isn't it, in a mini?
So if we're talking about
Yeah.
careers and all
Yeah,
the experience and all the history,
yes.
what's your favorite moment so far in your career?
My favorite moment.
Yeah,
Ooh.
come on.
I mean, all of them. I could tell you what is
Why are you
my
making
worst moment.
that
It-
face? Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Let's
You went
start there.
straight
It'll
to
be me.
negative. Like, what's
Did it
your
have to
best
do with
moment?
your
Like,
grandfather?
I don't have any positives in me after casting 6 games with this guy.
Oh my
All
god.
right, anybody else need to get it out of their system? Come on.
I think you're done. I think it's over.
she's on the
joke
dark
for
side
her.
today.
You've got a podcast cancelled.
She never literally. Hang on, just keep it civil. She literally never gave us the second champion. What you look like,
Yeah,
It's true.
it's your
Solari,
time.
you're up.
Solari,
Just dig in
champion.
another night
What
while you're at
you
it.
look? What champion?
What does he look like?
Go on.
Give me a champion.
Opportunity.
Oh,
The
she's
top laner is completely out of meta. Hasn't been in meta for a very long time right now. Really obnoxious to play against,
Could be so many
especially
things.
Darius
especially if you decide to chase him. He's
Singed.
very toxic.
Singed.
Oh, it's Akshan's.
Twitch.
No, it's
No,
Notorious. I know it is.
it's
How, what
It's
did
Sin?
it teach you on the
Twitch-
cast today?
No, hang on,
What
what's
were
the
you
call?
listening to it?
No, I just need the answer. What's not being
It's
played in
singed, bro. She just
Is
said
it singed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I clearly look.
Okay.
Just run away from
decrepit
the
and toxic. It's very-
trouble.
I see it every day in the mirror. It's very true.
You know what? I can't agree with that.
Yeah, it's-
I passed by his room today. I
If
think
you,
Yeah,
had
well,
no,
you know-
if you had
So
no
tell
hair,
me
yeah,
something.
exactly. If I had no
Favorite
hair, and
moment.
maybe like
that would
Favorite
work.
moment
bad
in
skin
casting.
condition. That's it.
favorite moment in your career of casting.
Ooh. No, bro, it's
Oh,
a rough
she's
one.
Italian apparently. Ooh.
Ooh, I don't know. I have a lot of those. Like any cast is my favorite cast.
Oh,
With him.
shut up.
That's
Shut
rubbish.
up. That's
Some of them, as a caster personally, some of them I go, well, I'm glad that's over.
Tell me your
What?
favorite one.
My favorite one?
Yeah.
Game 5, like this is game 5 of Gen.G top esports.
That was pretty cool.
Because the series was insane. BLG PSG hits high as well, but like that was unbelievable, bro. That like when you see teams playing like that, and you get to cast that, that's unbelievable,
And everything is clicking, right?
dude. Everything, and you like, dude, these teams are popping the hell off, and you get Krispy Kreme at his top, and then you're like, oh my god, but Sophie, baby, yeah.
To give me yours, I'm getting scared.
I don't really want to respond with Chovy baby like that. I think
You could if you wanted.
Chovy baby. No, I think it's probably either from the game perspective. I think Heretics winning Game 5 of EMEA Masters Summer in 2022 was really, really awesome. That was my first EMEA Masters final. It was super awesome. That or LEC debut, getting to do that alongside my brother. We had Kindred Master.
Never
That was
won.
cute.
That Lara
Without the
Nani made
other.
for us. We had a Kindred intro that we'd had like cosplay mask made for a friend by us.
I was
That
there.
was really, really special. It was a live audience too. Our dad came to see us. Our dad was in the
I
audience.
remember.
So it was just one of those really emotional, personal moments too. So
That is a cool
like,
photo you have with you, like you and Nymera on,
Yeah, it
on
was
Instagram.
really, really
That's-
awesome.
That's a fun one.
So,
It's not like you get
No,
invited
no,
to a lot of
it's
things,
fine.
but tell
So-
me.
do you remember a while ago when I came to
Oh,
Portugal
please don't.
and I threw to break? Do you remember that?
That was our first cast together.
Our first ever cast together. This was 9 years ago, maybe.
I don't know.
It was a long time ago.
Wow, you
my
met him back
throw
then.
to
I'm so
break.
sorry.
My
Guys,
throw
he's
to
almost
break was
32.
this is the beginning of me being totally unhinged.
Yeah.
Can I say it? Am I allowed to say this or?
Not again. You can't. No,
You know what I
Garfield.
said. You know what I said.
I know what you
two
said.
don't know what I said, and most people at home probably won't know what I said because it was a university tournament, and I threw the break. And my
Mate, gotta say it.
my
Don't- I
game
don't think you
plan.
can.
My game plan was because I got a bit of feedback, and someone was like, "Bro, all your break throws are really the same," and I was like, "That's fair." So I remember Medic used to do this thing where he was Sona back in the day actually then, and he used to do this break throw. He was like, "We're gonna whip out our Zonyas and we'll see you after stasis." So I was like, "Oh, we're gonna pull out our rejuvenation beads and we'll see you back after the break."
Yeah.
What actually
That
came
was
out-
his.
The producer, we might need to bleep this if you don't
Oh,
think it's
no.
necessary.
No,
They can't.
I don't think you
They
say. I
can't.
think we just say that you said something
I
different.
said something very unhinged.
You mispronounced it.
I mispronounced it real bad.
Oh,
It
okay.
was such a good break throw. Genuinely though, my actual favorite moment of casting. That is actually up there though. I love that moment. It was a very special moment for me and you. your face, because he was still not like as fluent in English as he was.
I had no
and he
idea how
said
to
it,
speak.
and for a moment he goes, like, just completely confused.
Did I just heard this?
No, but genuinely, my favorite moment, I was back in your home turf in Sydney Theatre.
Nice.
It was Riff Rivals back in the day. I couldn't name an actual moment of the games, but holy moly, it was my first time being in a crowd. There was a pretty big crowd. I was on stage with the players, and it's that rumbling you get when the crowd starts to get really hyped, especially when it was like a home team, it was an Aussie team, and the whole stage would shake with energy, and you could hear your own voice just pelting out and filling the room. Oh man, that was a real rush. It's kind of been downhill since then, really, hasn't it?
Boys, we're down for finals, semifinals.
Yep.
Who do you think is going to make it into the big one? Munich.
Heretics.
Heretics. Who else? You need to pick two.
I mean, this is the problem. I think the bottom side of the bracket's stacked.
It's
I
so
would have a
good.
BDSA Heretics. You know, I originally had KC Blue versus Desire. No, versus GK. That disappeared.
Yeah.
And obviously they were on
Quite
the same side of
fast.
the bracket. I don't know. We didn't see much of Vitality. I don't think I think it should be Vitality after what I saw from Geo today, as
Versus
much as I
Heretics.
liked some of their drafting. Yeah. Versus Heretics in the finals.
Do you agree?
I think Heretics BDSA is just tough. I think I prefer what I've seen from Heretics, but BDSA could just turn it on. I think that's a hard matchup to call, but I'll lean Heretics. I think on the other side, Geo have won well when they are ahead. They have looked significantly less good when they are behind. For all the drafting's been interesting, and I don't think they'll get those early games versus Vitality. So I think it should be Vitality B and Heretics in the finals. But BDSA could well just blow them out because they're a great team.
Heretics haven't been challenged on that note as well.
that's my worry.
the problem.
That's my worry.
That's what I'm worried about.
Heretics are more adaptive. So I would say from their side of the bracket, they. From the other one, yeah, wouldn't say Geo again, yeah, because they only play well when they're ahead in the early. So Vitality B. Vitality B Heretics.
Okay, everybody's going for the same so far.
It doesn't matter who
Yeah,
they're playing.
right.
Heretics are winning the whole tournament. I think we
Nice.
talk too much about League. You know, Initialize's pickup line can around cheese and wine.
This is exactly. We gotta cut it right now. Look at me. Look at me. You at home.
Coming back here.
It's lovely to have you on that side of the mirror. I love you so much. It's not the same without you. We'll start this show in a few minutes. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you soon. See ya.
I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I am no regular citizen. Do you understand what you're witnessing? You cannot tell what the difference is. I want it all and I'm winning it. I do not care about opinions. Time to make a few decisions so I can take a position. I'ma go get it, I'm punching and kicking. I keep on moving, they off of me. Just do it and stop without talking, G. I'm not expressing no modesty. I can't see nobody stopping me. If there's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number one stunner, don't have other options. Now I'm fired up. I'm sorry, brother, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. I came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, now, I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up.
We are live from Paris, France. It's the first day of semifinals for EMEA Masters Summer Playoffs 2024. My name is Alexander Maya. I will be your host for today. And today, we have a special desk. This is full mayhem. We have 4 people on the desk. Welcome, everybody. This is not the podcast.
What?
You sure?
Yes.
That's not what you said.
I saw the schedule. It's actually live, by the way. So, welcome, everybody. How are we doing on this lovely day?
Yeah, you know, each day is a blessing, and being with you couldn't be better.
Did you have to sound so sarcastic when you said it, mate?
He just didn't go to the gym with us today.
That's all it is,
what
yeah.
he said.
He was there.
I did everything today. I was
Where's your legs then?
No.
I just didn't go near him.
Yeah, that's the point.
That was the best part.
I enjoyed I'm doing a full body workout. Are you training legs? No.
No, I don't need to do legs. My legs are nice. Everything else just needs a bit of work, you know?
It's the cost is cursed. You never get to see the legs, so you never work out the legs.
True.
I understand that.
Under here, I'm a shrimp. That's why I don't sit near
Are
you.
Trump's allergic to you?
First day of semifinals, we have a lovely matchup. Heretics versus BDSA. We're talking about 2 first seeds on their respective ERLs. Who's coming on top of that one? We don't know, but whoever moves forward will make it to finals. Finals will be played on the 30th of this month, and you can still buy tickets to go there live. You can actually watch the teams play it live. We don't know who's going to be there. It's live.
But it's going to be one of the
one's
teams
the
we're going to
highlight.
be seeing today, at least.
I got a pretty solid idea of who I think. I think you laugh like I'm going to just disrail it immediately. I'm holding it together for you here, Archer. I'm pretty sure we're seeing Heretics go through. I haven't made my mind up on Geo versus Vitality B, and I probably need to.
I don't think they have either, to be quite honest.
To be honest, yeah.
After yesterday, I'm not sure Team Go does it actually. Well, sorry to be offensive, but Team Joe, yeah. I'm not sure if they've made up their mind. Today, though, banger. Today does take the cake, and I'm sorry that these guys go up against each other in the semifinals when I feel like this could have been a grand final matchup realistically if they were on the opposite side of the bracket from each
I
other.
agree. This could be the finals in Unique. But Geo and Vitality V still have to show up and actually prove everybody why they're still at this position. So far, in this bracket, I mean, if they made it this far, they deserve it. So we got to say it like that.
Yeah, I think with the way particularly the Swiss stages come in as well, there is no easy road to get here. You have to go through some pretty damn good teams to get here. Obviously, I know Jersey yesterday was like, look, we hadn't faced any LFL teams up until that point. But even then, the teams they had faced were still very, very tough opponents. And it is inevitably a big gauntlet to run now that they're semifinals. There's still a lot of tough teams remaining. You've still got to make that one final jump to get towards finals in Munich.
I don't want to sound biased, but
You will.
yes. Vitality B, I love them, and they have my boy Stan, so I'm really happy for him. He always was talking back at NLC 2022, hey, I want to play on LFL. There he is at the top teams. But Team GO came from last chance qualifier. That is a beautiful story. That's a really rough run.
would you say it's Gova for them?
And with that in mind, let's test the desk with the game.
Oh, classic.
So classic. I love it. The
We
classic.
should just wrap up after
That's
this.
it. It's over.
Just do the game and go home.
This is a special game because all 4 of you will play.
Oh no.
Okay.
To be fair, we all 4 of us been trying to play. The only reason we kind of bullied them into not playing yesterday, but the day before that.
Yes.
But I encourage your brain to bully you because you guys know more than us. So
Yeah, I mean.
is it a team game or is it single? Like, is it?
It's even better than that. You guys will have to move across the studio to
Oh,
play
no.
this one.
Oh my god, the camera
But
work
it
is
has
going
to
to
be-
be crazy.
Guys, for real though, can you let me win? Because I've only won a Johnny Holiday t-shirt.
Nothing so
This
far.
is the rough
Get
part.
good. But like,
I'm going to bring up the rules for this
cry
specific
again.
game. This is still a game that is going to be highlighting Solari and Initialize.
Oh.
So whoever wins the
am I doing
prize
it?
will be between
level.
them. And tomorrow will
So
be
these two
between
don't get any
two.
prize?
No, but have to play. So
fine.
you're the
Today's not
captain,
the yo-yo
and
anyway,
you're the
man.
captain. You both are captains.
I'm
Oh, that's
captain now.
dangerous.
Can I?
It is.
That's a lot of
I have
responsibility.
the power to ruin this from Initialize. Is what you're telling me.
I've done that before. Trust me, it's
So
worth it.
I'm going to ask you, Captain, are you comfortable with that partner?
Absolutely not.
Do you want to change?
Can I change?
I don't know who's any better, to be
So
fair.
we gotta pick a Jake.
You have to pick a Jake.
What if I'm Jake intolerant?
I don't know. You have to
Yeah,
adopt
oh
a
my
Jake
god,
today.
I've been like,
Can I
No
draw?
Jake options.
Yeah.
No, those
You
are
have to
the
have,
only
you have,
options
to have
that we
upside
have.
down Jake or normal
Wait.
Jake.
oh, Jake.
So not normal.
I'm not
Production?
normal.
No, there's no Jake in production, so you
Okay.
have to pick one of these two.
Shame.
So you pick that Jake?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I don't have to move.
He
That's
has the
nice.
death stare, like, the typical
Cool.
Slavic ice.
Let's
You
play a
just
game.
got thrown under the bus. You don't want me, but you're stuck with me.
Let's play a game of Who Am I? Nikonary edition.
Pardon?
What?
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So I'm the Nico and he's the Nico.
Ah.
Okay, don't. Jake,
not true
don't ruin this.
No, calm down. So this is quite simple. I have, within my power, D6.
Wait,
Names.
by the way, where's the? It didn't rise. I didn't rise.
Rise
It's kind
up.
of just there now.
It's not that important.
Oh, there it is. Look, it's solid. Thank
It's just
you.
the fact that Nico is throwing up in that emote that really worries
It was
me.
fast. This was really fast, by the way. You didn't see it back at home?
There it
Well,
is.
Hey!
You gotta show production value. It's good. It's good.
so I have 6 names. You will decide on who's coming here, and he will have to draw
Oh, not this again.
the
Oh, no.
name that is currently on
Why
these
do I
cards.
decide?
Oh, I'm going there, production. I'm just telling them the rules. So you have to decide who's coming on this part of the stage. They'll have to draw. You
Oh, I
have
like this.
1 minute. 1 minute. After 1 minute, you're allowed to take a guess as well.
Okay.
So whoever takes the points wins, blah, blah, blah. So what do you win, though? I was thinking, it has to be an interesting one. Production, bring in the prize.
Oh, it better be that UFO.
Come on, come on, come on, come
Oh
on, come
my
on, come on.
It's a Johnny Holiday record.
It
Hey, guys.
is the torch. What is
Oh,
it?
wow. What?
We have,
What did?
since we're in Paris,
Is that cheese?
Oh, hell
a
yeah.
cheese plate.
Hey, we're 50%
Yo,
way
wow.
towards Sam's
Thank you
pickup
so
line.
much.
Archer,
It
Archer,
works, by
do
the
you
way.
do you realize I don't eat cheese?
But baguette. The cheese was because of you.
That's
Baguette
fair.
was because of you.
Wait.
Oh. So we
We
can
have
just
to
share
win
it.
this,
We have to.
and
We
we're
don't
gonna
have
have
to
the
play the
best
game.
cast
so
ever.
free.
Which
But no, but we don't get it. They get it.
get
Don't
it.
touch it.
You get to tease him about the whole
So
time.
who wants to take this first?
They get it. We don't get it.
hang on.
We don't touch
Is it
it.
Jake drawing or my drawing?
Wait,
You decide.
If you win, I
Okay.
get the cheese.
I'll
then.
go on first.
You got
Deal.
Yeah, leave.
Do you want to
Cool.
join in?
You can have
Come
the
in.
bread. Have the
So
bread.
you
Come
have
on,
this
bread.
tablet that is
Yep.
connected to production, and as you draw, he has to guess.
Where am I?
I'll
Where
show
am I
you what
sitting? Am I
name.
sitting it on there?
I gotta be careful because I can't get us taken off Twitch then.
Yeah, please,
Obviously.
please be
So-
careful. Also, you're not allowed to change colors or type in letters.
So it has to be one single color.
And it has to be black.
It has to be one
just
single
black-
color.
So black
choose
pen.
the color? Or
No,
No,
you're,
just
you're
black
way
pen.
too dangerous.
Okay.
It has to be the color that is currently being used.
Which is black pen.
You will probably be able to pick, but I don't trust you. So this is the champion you have to draw.
Rumble.
No.
I don't get the game.
That was so fast. It took him 1 second. Wait. You ready?
Do I have a pen or
He's
my
obviously
finger?
joking.
Do you have a timer? Does anybody have a timer? Pick up your cell phone.
You should have prepped this. This is your game.
Yes,
should have a
but
timer.
I left it on the
Yo,
airplane
tell me
mode.
when.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm just gonna count.
5, 4, 3,
Okay.
2,
Back here.
1, go.
Aurora.
There you go.
a bunny.
Yeah, it's actually out order. So that's 3 points for Jake and Initialize.
Okay.
You got to step up. That was really good.
No.
Well, I mean, that was easy.
That was so easy.
That was so easy.
How about you give me that rumble?
Hey, you ready?
How do I? No, I'm not ready. How do I clear?
So you pick this and you do this.
Oh my god.
And then you
technology.
pick one of these. So look into the camera. Look into the camera as I'm going to show you the name.
I am not a croc.
You ready? This is you.
Oh,
You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Solari.
it's not working. You gave me. That's not the pet. You suck. Hang on.
Using up your time here, mate.
Right, hold on. You see what I'm doing?
Yes. It actually makes sense.
Oh, I see.
Oh my word, I know it.
Huh? What? What?
You can take a guess. I don't know
Wait,
if you
what do
want
you
to.
guess?
What?
Can I use colors or not?
No
No.
colors. It's so good though. Chat, participate as well if possible. Try to guess what aesthetics is trying to do.
You said
Can I
Malzahar?
guess? Am I?
What?
Malzahar?
No.
No, your minute's not up. I didn't time it.
I know it too.
How much time?
45 seconds. I still have 15.
Okay.
Just. It's like
What?
What is that? Careful, Hysterics. Not on Twitch.
Sorry. Really draw.
Okay.
I've noticed. I've noticed.
That's like.
You gotta be out of time.
That's
You
not
got it done.
what you get-
Where can we guess?
That's the back. That's the back of it.
What's? Do you want to take a guess?
Back of it.
It's
I-
singed.
No.
Oh.
I thought it was Kaisem.
Okay.
That's really
I
frightening.
think it's Belveth.
It's Velvet. It's Velvet.
And the little grubs.
the little.
So the problem is you got me OGT, but I can't draw.
Okay.
Her thing, she slaps.
Yeah.
You know.
Why does she slap? Exactly.
I hope you're drawing
Solari, you had the option to have me. I just want you to know this.
You know what? I
regret
take
it
it back.
much.
Yeah.
Initialize. Who do you
okay.
want to
I
draw?
apologize in advance.
Do you want to be the one drawing?
He's gonna say that he's practiced this. He's practiced drawing for today.
You
Yeah,
good?
he probably
you
has.
ready? Chat, help us, because aesthetics, I
How
don't
else
know.
would I do that?
This is you.
What?
Belveth.
You
he
ready?
got Aurora and I got Belveth.
1, 2,
Draw
3,
Stingray.
go! Let's go. He knows how to draw. I've seen him draw before.
Yeah, do you want me to time you? Tell you when it's a minute?
Yeah.
I have the time.
Oh,
hell
he knows. He knows. He knows.
Is that Kane? No, it's Kindred.
Kindred! That is.
Oh my
That's a good one.
They're getting the easiest ones.
That- what do you mean?
To be fair, I would not have done that. I would not have done that.
Easy thematics. Yo,
I think-
watch us
Killing
get
it.
like. What's the hardest
That's
champion
not
to
bad.
draw?
3 out of 3. We'll take it.
You're
get,
gonna
like,
be sitting
Callum now.
backstage
I can
Yeah.
with
so
some
much.
cheese and bread.
It's gonna be
7
beautiful.
points for both of you, by the way. Three for guessing your own word, and 1 because you stole it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we stole. Yeah.
Do you want to
steal
draw?
it?
I
Yeah.
see
I
you
don't
draw.
want
Put it
to.
wrong.
Don't
What?
worry,
I
his
saw your
last one's
photo.
always worth
I
11
only
points.
know how to draw one single thing at Interpol Row, and I bet you
This
don't
is
have
so
this on the
easy.
list.
worry, you can draw
Come in,
Belveth.
Johnny. Come on, Solari. Come on, join in.
It's gonna be Aurora again.
Yeah, that's
It's not gonna be out order. It's
Draw that.
Huh?
Do you have any idea how you would draw that?
yes,
With difficulty.
Wait,
exactly.
Don't you worry, I'm timing it. We'll get 2 minutes. This is.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
Oh my god.
I would, but my watch ran out of
All right.
battery.
Started,
So
right?
yeah.
You ready? 1, 2,
battery.
3, go. Okay. What is this?
It is so
What
hard
is
to draw
this?
with my-
Briar.
How? Oh, it makes.
Lilia.
I know.
Oh my
I
word!
know.
I figured it out.
Nunu.
I got it.
No.
No,
Wait, it's not Nunu.
it's.
I don't know.
Who the hell is that?
We'll get another 30 seconds, by the way. We're good.
I
What?
don't know what else to add.
I know what this is.
It's not Nunu.
No, it's not.
Who is a backpack?
Aatrox, Leona, Kindred, Markiplier.
How long do we have?
Talon.
know it.
Shaco,
I know what it is.
What's the timing? What's the timing?
Lulu.
Tell me the timing. Time.
Milia, Yumi.
Melio. Oh, you were just spamming names.
What is it? Yumi?
Melio.
Is it Milia?
Yeah, Melio.
Of course, it's the fireballs. I saw the backpack.
It's actually there. That's Melio. That's
I
Melio.
got it.
What was the timer
This-
at? Where was your watch? What was the timer?
I mean, the timer only Now went over.
What was it? 1 minute or 2?
No, 1 minute.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, honestly. I
would
would
make
make good
the
with the smiley
kick,
face
you know?
fireballs.
I'm telling you, that's the trick to this game. Just guess the champion pool.
Have we got another one?
Yes, of
Now
course.
that's cooked. Well
They
done.
have
again.
3
Well done.
points
I don't know how
versus
I'd draw that.
7.
I think I'd draw Ankara Messi.
Yes.
That's
Join in. Hey, Brian. This is specially for you, by the way.
oh
Yeah.
god. Did you see it, or did you see into his ear with that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, pick a pen.
Any pen.
Have you not got a pen enabled?
Why is he
just-
why is
no.
he picking it up? You're not Picasso, bro. Put it back on the stand.
It's easier.
Why would Picasso pick it up?
Yeah,
What
Picasso-
Technology.
Picasso, a
Wasn't around in his
handheld
time.
iPad
Yeah,
guy.
he's famous for his tablet.
Yeah,
5,
exactly. Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Is it Rel?
Wow.
Thank you, production.
Wait.
I'm actually so cracked at this game.
Yes, the date's on the back of the wall.
Did they show Rel? I wasn't even watching.
Archeron, have you got a pen? On that rail card, write another champion down.
Yeah, true. Actually true.
Just write it up. I don't care if
Your
you don't
pen's
have a
next to the
splash
tablet.
art.
Next to the tablet.
Next to your tablet.
Can I do a production?
Okay. Let's.
We don't show the champion, but we. Okay. We will just do it.
Oh my god.
Look, all I'm saying is I've got production ready for me. I'll pay you guys afterwards. Thank you, guys.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
All right.
You got to show me, man.
Go. Go or go? Go.
No, we're not going yet. He's still writing.
Now go.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, no.
No, you have to. No, that's.
That's
That's-
he did the
no,
same
the other
thing.
one.
Don't worry, bro. The
This.
second pen.
Can we start again?
No, just go. Come on. Go. I want the cheese. Hurry up.
Tom Kench,
No.
Award.
Oh my god.
What
I
is
don't
that?
know who this is.
Shaco, Briar.
Brian!
There we go.
Wow.
Don't need it cheap. We can do it
Straight.
fair and
That's actually
square.
Boom.
masterpiece.
Fair and
Wait, oh my
square.
god, they had a
That's
picture for it.
rap.
They have
Wow.
a picture for it, yeah.
Good stuff.
Good job, production. Good job.
Well
Good
done,
job.
production.
Rel.
Wait. This is
That
the
one?
last
That
one, okay?
That one. Anyone can win from this one.
Calm down. Look, I'm gonna set up the points. You're sitting at 10 points right now.
We won.
Huh?
We've won. If you give them
Calm
like
down.
11 points of winning this, I will.
You have 3 points exactly.
So we get 8 for winning this. Or
How
9?
did you know?
Or 9.
The last
Why do we play
one
these games?
is
What's the
worth
point?
8 points, by the way.
Anyone can win.
Anyone can win. 5.
That's not some
I
cheese,
feel-
man.
I want to
One.
raise a complaint.
Go. Do you want me to call the manager?
Nafiri?
That would be a good one.
Oh, I know it.
I know
Yumi?
too.
Oh, I don't know it.
It's angry. It's Canon?
Oh, that is so good,
It's a
though.
Yordle. It's a
Here's a
Yordle.
mask.
Is it though, Salati? Think about it.
It's small.
Okay, but that's probably because of, aesthetics.
Okay, I know what it is.
It's a bubble.
What?
We're still waiting for that 1 minute.
What are we doing?
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
It's getting.
Hysterics is actually so bad at this.
But I understand.
Scoring is easy though.
I understand. Like it makes sense.
What?
It was doing some sense.
How much time?
We got a bit out of time.
Is that a yordle?
8 seconds.
They know what it is.
8 seconds.
Have guess. Go,
5,
go, go.
4,
All yordles.
3, 2 yordles. 2, 1, 1 and a half.
Come on, you can't give a
Vex.
folks.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Who do you think it is?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I had
It is Max.
no idea.
Congratulations, you're allowed to take the cheese and the bread to your side of the table.
Yes.
Cheese anyway.
That's some soft cheese as well.
I'm excited.
That's-
Are we doing this on the desk?
We're going on
Oh
desk,
yeah, let's
yeah.
go.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Go on.
Hey,
Don't
We
worry.
got-
I
Don't
don't know.
worry.
What you've had
Just
Tomorrow.
They're not
eat
worried. They're
on
eating,
the
but getting
Tomorrow
rid
is
of
That's
proper
fine.
with you.
Yeah, no
just
ASMR.
don't eat on the
Also.
microphone. Initialize, can I ask you a favor?
No.
Allow hip brain to be preoccupied with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let him
I'm
eat.
gonna be
them.
so
Oh,
gassy
that's how
on
you
the
shut him
last
up.
vlog.
This entire
He's
game
smart.
Yeah.
was made specifically to shut up hip brain. That's my objective.
Oh, wait, dude, it's poisoned. He put something in it.
Now, let's talk about interesting things.
This
Okay?
piece slaps, by the way. It's
Really good, isn't it?
It's so good.
Thank you, production. Production went to the center of Paris to buy them, by the way, this morning.
C'est magnifique.
Ah, magnifique. What's also magnifique is the teams we're going to be watching today. BDSA versus Heretics. At this point, we talked about them. They could be tournament favorites. They could be the finalists. This could be the teams joining into Munich. There you go. We have them behind us. Tell me something. I want to know more about BDSA. Because even though they are one of the great teams and also the first seed for LFL, it hasn't been like this before, right?
No, it hasn't. They actually have had such a tough run through LFL because so many times they were getting very close to winning LFL, but they never were able to get the first place. And even if you look throughout this year, because the roster that we currently have for BDSA, it has been with them from the beginning of this year. So this is their second split already as part of this team. But even in spring, they weren't able to get anything. And finally, this summer, this is their first split ever when finally BDSA are having the gold medal.
I mean, the only question left is like, can they get past their previous record from last split? At least EMEA Masters, right? While their domestic rivalry has started channeling up, and you know, their summer playoff climax here is really nice. Last split in EMEA Masters, they got taken down by Besiktas in the semifinals. They were a team that were like, hey, you know, we think they can again run and make it all the way. We have that same expectation of them again, but in the way of Team Heretics, and it's like, you know, is history going to repeat itself?
And the thing is, this is just this last couple of years. It goes on beyond that. They've been so close so many times in the LFL, in EMEA Masters behind that as well. It's only been this split, really. I actually stopped eating because it was like, I was like, this is taking too long.
Guys, do you mind? I can't actually eat without a video. Can I just put a YouTube video on?
Just look at the screen, man. You can look at us. Why is going to be the neediest eating habit of all time?
ADHD Zoomer. Oh my God.
What videos do you watch while you're eating?
Recently, Night Blue 3 videos,
Is that
actually. I found his
my
videos really
God.
good. I like him. He's very positive.
Give me your cell phone, please.
What are you doing?
No. It's also really interesting to talk about this team specifically because this is also like they're living within
gonna get a YouTube
LFL
video.
region.
Who are you
Like,
calling?
no. So
Call my mum to come pick me up.
Past his bedtime.
you're looking at the BDSA and you're thinking, they might not pull it off. We're talking about BDSA of all teams. So living within LFL region must be a really hard, it's like an ecosystem of its own, right?
With huge expectations and
Yeah.
a lot of fans. I know, you know, from at least the outside perspective, like KC especially, the fan base is very passionate about their team. I know the BDS fans, like, although it might not be as prevalent in France, I know now representing the region as the #1 seed is a big deal. What are you doing?
I have the same question. It's my phone.
It's going to be a YouTube video, so Jake,
Oh
you
my
keep
God,
distracted.
he's
It's
actually doing it.
literally...
Thank you.
So I
We
brought
probably
you,
shouldn't play the ads.
no, it's YouTube Kids. So
Yeah, okay.
there you go.
The question is, why do you have YouTube Kids installed on your...
There you go.
Thank you.
It's still like...
I'm just a kid. Don't look at me.
Yeah, but why did he install it on your phone? What?
No, you can actually go through.
Okay, I'm moving away. All right.
Focus.
Yeah, but
Join us,
I've
join
got
us.
things to do.
So yeah, we're talking about BDSA living in LFL and now reigning over the LFL, but they still have to prove themselves. And this could also be their big opportunity of like, we've been chasing this for so long. This could be it.
Yeah, and I think, as we've kind of already alluded to just a little...
What one?
Continue.
As
Join
we
us.
just alluded
We
to just
should.
a little bit, it's the BDSA have been very good for a while, but their ability to actually get over the line towards like a hang on, did you ask me? Because I also won this.
Can you
gotta
pass me a piece of baguette?
Of course you can. Thank you.
I got you, I
Sad
got
to
you,
ask. But one of those big things is like, look, they've won the LFL finally. Can they do the same in EMEA Masters? They've gotten close so many times, and that history of not quite success, of almost being good enough but failing at the last hurdle, haunts this team. And I think this roster, the expectations on them, this should be the time it finishes. This should be the time they get it over the line. The problem is they're in against Los Heretics, who also look really, really good, and especially over the last couple series, in a lot of ways, they look cleaner in their wins than BDSA did.
But when you talk about the roster itself, I'm not letting. When you talk about the roster itself, let's dive into the roster of BDSA. What makes BDSA BDSA? We were looking into the entire roster, and who do we pick out of these 5?
We have to pick the mid lane at least. I think we have to start from the mid lane because it all starts and ends with Rika on this roster for BDSA. He is such a big part of why the team takes the wins, and you can see it just by looking at the numbers for the team because he does insane amounts of damage for them, but also in general, how he operates within the team and especially in pair with the jungle.
So Skewmon and Rika
Yes,
should be the
that's gonna be the
highlight
pair, yes.
for the BDSA. We're all on the same page. I agree. There you go. When you look into them and also the champion pool, it's really interesting and refreshing to look into a jungler that picks more than just, hey, I play Zyra, I play Brand. Getting that Talia, getting that top Volibear. But when you look into the middle lane as well, I was talking about production because we are only allowed to put in like 3. Because we divided the 3. You see a Smolder there. The Smolder was highlighted because he plays a ton of, oh, I play this champion, never touching him again.
Yeah. Oh, he did that in spring, no?
Yeah.
I mean, Rika was a big Orianna player when Orianna was meta too. So he's kind of showing his flexibility and to play with the meta. Smolder's a great flex right now. Great example. Jace as well. Good answer into a lot of these mid, like this mid to long range, either mages or like, carries through both mid and top at the moment. Okay, I'll play that too. That's why it syncs up so well. You have very flexible jungle mid in this team that don't always have to play like dead on the meta, but they can play around it as well. And Skewmon's another great example of that with things like Volibear.
I think I agree a lot with that as well. Because I think what we've also seen as this tournament's gone on, that having those players that have a little bit of draft flexibility to them in terms of having other options for the draft has been really valuable. And Rika's not only had that, he's then delivered on it. He's something like the 4th highest DPM player out of every single player that's played. He's the 2nd highest DPM player of any mid. So it's not like he's just picking these things. He's also delivering in terms of being a star carry for the team. And Skewmon's running very similar numbers in the jungle, which is really good news. Because actually, I think at some points we've had questions about what's happened in the draft to other lanes.
Yes.
Those two have been very, very consistent, even when other things have gone wrong. I'm just watching Hysterics continue to eye up my cheese plate.
No,
good
you can't have
bloody
any more.
cheese.
You
I was
can't. You're lost.
actually about to talk about League of Legends
Yes.
for once.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, I'm gonna say there's some cool stuff as well in their champ diversity. Rika has something which we can kind of keep in the back of our minds. I don't think we'll see it, but it's something you do have to kind of keep in the back of your mind. He has Pantheon as an answer to Yone in his champ pool. He's played at this tournament, so we know that's
He
something in there.
destroyed Yone.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's a really good matchup, and not many people are playing it because, Pantheon, by picking Pantheon, you do obviously trade off various other things like wave clear and stuff like that, but you can then look to play side lanes and play through that. But Rika having this in his champ pool is always something that now Certus is going to have to think about. If I play Yone, am I going to be able to deal with a Pantheon? What is our jungle going to look like? Are we going to have the jungle mid 2v2 skirmishing power? Because Pantheon gives so much skirmishing power in those 2v2s.
And I think this whole tournament has been like a big draft, big bubble discussion, not only because of where the meta's at, but because a lot of these teams have surfaced, and in tier 2s, they often do, where they play, again, around the meta and they kind of define their own style. And that's why in this matchup, it's so important when we're talking about some of these like pocket picks that can really define the series and like build it up. Then you're like, hey, these are the teams that can go out and win because they can play better and their individuals are better as well. So, of course, they can muck around and flex, some of these pockets, if that makes sense.
When we highlight Team GO, it's always about the way they adapt and they bring new champions, and BDSA are
Biggest
capable of doing
discussion.
that. So might as well open up our eyes into other champions and other players as well. Let's talk about Heretics. Let's talk about Carlson and Xerxes in the jungle. Those two paired up, dangerous. What are we looking to do?
Especially if you look at their champion pools. I mean, that is a very small thing that we have on the bottom of the screen right now. But if you look at the actual champion pools of both of them, especially I would say Carlson has played like 12 individual champions throughout the EMEA Masters so far. Xerxes has like 11. So the pools are absolutely insane. And that is the problem for any team that has to play against Heretics right now. You can't really outdraft them, especially if they're on the red side.
It is scary. Tell
I
me.
mean, like, for context on that front as well, I think the most Carlson has played a champion is twice. That's it. Everything else, he's played like just one-offs on and won a lot of them. Similarly for Xerxes, he's got 3 games on Sejuani. Everything else is basically a one-off. But that just shows how often they've been moving around those champion pools and having that flexibility in draft again.
Which is especially interesting if you look at the history of Carlson. That is the player who used to be a heavy one trick of Renekton's, Gwen's, things like that. Now he plays absolutely anything on this top lane.
Yeah, we remember that in 2022.
2022,
Yeah.
NLC.
He was forced to play the Renekton, the Gwen. He was like, oh, I can only play these two. And look at him. He was always saying, like, I have the potential, but can I actually climb the mountain?
And now he's one of the best weak side top laners in the tournament, if
There
not the
you
only
go.
one left. I mean, a lot of these teams, like, as we saw, not only just the diving game of game 3 where Carlson kind of laughed at them, but like he can play anything. He can play role-playing tanks, but he can play Cannon as well and play role-playing engage. And he does both great.
So can we highlight the idea that a lot of teams, like yesterday, we talked about the blue priority, and then we talk about the red priority. Oh, I want that last pick. I want the counter pick to the top lane. Heretics are not even caring about that. I'm like, yeah, counter pick the top lane. Carlson is good. He doesn't care about playing the weak side or even the counter matchup. It's Carlson.
We
They're
have
good.
seen it already happening to them, actually. When the enemy team is thinking that they're counter-picking Carlson on the top lane, when they're surprised, it's not actually going to be a pick for Carlson, or vice versa. Some AD carry is going to be suddenly switched to the top lane for him. And that allows for the team to be so versatile and so confident on the red side, especially because they always have this possibility of flexing.
Love it.
I think the thing for me, which actually is very interesting about this series, is both these teams have relatively diverse champion pools.
Yeah.
So picks and bans will probably change and adapt over the entire of the series. One thing, we talked a little bit about how like Rika has this like Pantheon as a pocket pick, but that's not getting banned. Let's be real. That's not getting banned.
It was banned on the first playoffs they played.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's been banned once. On the other side, Jack,
Shut up, Archron. Let him finish.
Jack Spectre has had Draven banned against him every game of this tournament. It has not been let through. That's in this meta. Like, wasting a ban on Draven just to stop Jack Spectre gets it, you're basically losing a ban every game just to that pick. It's so potent. That kind of, like, diverse champion pools really changes the micro meta of a series as it goes on and on.
And I think on top of that, when you add in the fact that often when we come to metas where teams have got really good at counter picking, it's often that R5, that Luke Skywalker pick, the red 5 standing by. Yeah, I love that one. That becomes that sort of option to really find the counter pick, normally for top lane or whatever. The fact that we're seeing, particularly from Heretics, that ability to counter pick in the jungle as well, like, okay, on R4, we're able to lock in, say, that Diana, which we saw that kind of came in out of nowhere, that it's not just waiting for the last pick to get value out of counter picking. That's proven really dangerous for that team as well.
So Heretics is a complicated team to draft against, and we're now highlighting them a little bit. And when we look into the story of Heretics, specifically at EMEA Master Summer, I mean, we have a lot to talk about now.
We have to start with the elephant in the room. It is the fact that ever since the best of 16 began, the round of 16, they haven't lost a single game. They had 2 series so far, and they won both of them with a very clean 3-0.
That's a big evolution. I saw them on Switch. I was like, are they that good? And the way they're playing right now, scary.
I think it very much is, but then we're also looking at the fact that Heretics in general were finding options like this, where you've got Yester Kennen that had survived loads of ganks he really shouldn't have, but then actually Xerxes pulling out a Diana, despite the fact he's often been on tank duty, he's often asked to be lower resource, more engage option, and then still has this kind of other side to the gameplay. It's been really, really cool. And that flexibility in playstyle for players on the team as well has been really, really potent, because actually the fact that Carlson can play weak side or lock in a Zeri into a Cassante and go full hardcore carry mode, or the fact that Xerxes can go from a Sejuani, a Skarner, into a Diana is really valuable for the team.
It's no longer even about, hey, it's a best of 5. We're adapting more into the best of 5 than the BO1 or even the BO3. They're just showcasing who they are right now. And winning a 3-0 in both matches in playoffs, it's a testament of strength, but also they're showcasing, like, it's Papara Supermassive. Papara Supermassive took out GK, of all teams. Armut, he's a legendary top lane. And now you're looking to Heretics, they're walking in like, yeah, we got this. So this roster is terrifying, in my opinion, the way they play, the way they adapt, the way they pick. The champions select everything.
The way they lane, especially, like, this was the biggest theme in Papara Supermassive, that Heretics were just outlaning them, moving first. Their moves also were a lot cleaner as well. And this, I cannot believe this is in the real. You cannot show this.
It's wild. It's so sad.
This was so, like, for Papara, I mean, Carlson kind of broke their ankles a bit. And there's a really fancy move. And outside of that flash being a little bit close to the edge of the Emperor's Divide, like a 2-for-1 trade, and that was absolutely filthy. And that's what the series was. That's what the highlight of the series was just like these filthy individual plays. And then Heretics are so far ahead, they team fight, they win, of course, because those standout carries are unbeatable.
This is actually what I exactly wanted to talk about. They, in the knockout stage, have 3-0'd every team they've gone up against. BDS have 3-1'd every team they've gone against. So
nice.
they've been looking a little bit more consistent in that front. This cheese is so good, by the way.
I'm hoping there's some left by the time I get there, because I saw you coming over to nab someone.
We'll share tomorrow. When we win, we'll share.
Okay.
I'm trying
That's
to
the
be as
deal.
professional as possible, but you put such good cheese in front
It's
of
so
me.
good.
It's breaking.
But-
I can't stop stopping my face on camera.
What I'll also say, though, is on the other side, the teams that Heretics have lost to was Vitality and BDS. And it was very clean on that front. And I'll note that in their round of 16, for all that it was a 3-0, it was not clean from Heretics. It was a really messy option, that second game in particular. Realistically, they deserve to lose. Credit to them for holding on. But again, we have seen issues from Heretics in the past where they will make what looks to be a good macro move on paper, but they won't respect the fact that the enemy team could have read what's coming, could respond to them, and then will get punished for overdiving, for over-rotating. Jack Spectre getting caught out in the jungle on a rotation through the Kaiser, overdiving a turret. That happened 3 times a game plus at points in those round of 16 goal options. So if that happened against BDSA, who at least on paper should be a higher caliber opponent, one of the best in the tournament, there could still be some issues to be solved coming into this.
You know what? I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this from you and Solari. So let's play a game of pick a champion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you pick a team and you have to defend that team for like 1 minute and a half. 1 minute and a half, and you have to present why they're going to win today. So who do you want to pick?
I'll go with BDSA.
So by default, you're going for Heretics. I feel like you're wanting to the other side. So
I won.
She won. Initialize. Give me, where's the, oh, he's watching YouTube Kids. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
I have the timer, don't
Actually
worry.
still on Coco Melon, by the way.
I try my best.
Do you want this while you do your bit?
That's going to be really helpful. Yeah. Keep me nice
You
and
ready?
peaceful.
Initialize.
Yes.
Go.
BDSA, your time is now. How often have you been so close to winning it all? You finally won an LFL championship. You're here at the tournament as the favorites, and it's your old rivals, your old nemesis and Lost Heretics standing before you. And this time, there will be no mistakes. You're going to repeat what happened in the Swiss stage, and you're going to wreck their face. Skewmond and Rika have been demolishing everyone they've gone against, whether the drafts have been awkward, and they haven't been that awkward for most of the tournament, that round of 16 excluded. You have been destroying everyone who stands in front of you. But there's another player I think it is worth shouting out, and that is Paris in the bot lane in that support role. He has been a superstar for years. He has joined the LFL, he has joined BDSA, and for my money, he is the best player the whole damn tournament. He has been the best player, certainly the best support for years. He's going to LEC soon. He's going to crack faces today. BDSA are winning it all.
There you go. BDSA are taking it all. I'm on Sam's side. So far, I'm on Sam's side.
Everyone is.
Solari, you got to change it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Heretics, listen. You have already done it. It's not the new grounds for you to go and win EMEA Masters in summer. You did it 2 years ago exactly in the summer of 2022. You beat BDSA. What is stopping you from doing it again? I think nothing, because you know your strengths very well. You know how versatile the top part of the map is for you. It is so open-minded. It allows you to play absolutely anything on the lower side of the map. And who do you have here? Certus on the mid lane, one of the most stable mid laners we have in the region right now. And on the bot lane, it's Jack Spectre and Whiting. And I respect Initialize like in Paris, but how can you not look at this bot lane and say, hey, these two guys are going to crush absolutely everybody. And the team knows that this is the main strength of their roster, and everything plays towards them and towards them winning this tournament.
You know what?
I feel
Cheevan
so
brought in
guilty.
a mime.
I feel so guilty. Hysterics was sitting in the back there.
I committed.
Pumping
I
her up.
committed to
I
the
spent the
facial
entire
cues.
time of his talk just eyeing up
Yeah,
cheese.
look, the reason why you were doing that, Jake, is because there was no substance to that. It was just cheesy speeches, wasn't it?
Oh.
I think he should lose based on that stupid quote.
Yes.
I take it back. Please let me partake in the
It's
cheese.
hard.
Let me
It's hard because I'm
partake.
biased
You're having no more of
Heretics.
this.
Oh.
Well, you're banned. Cutting more cheese.
I was listening.
I opened up for tomorrow. Sorry, Artrom, you do your thing.
I was listening to a lot of players being brought up into the discussion. Let's bring in the junglers, because I think both junglers can bring
Wait,
a
who
lot
wins?
into this one.
But who wins? Don't bring in
Oh,
anyone.
I have to pick?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I really enjoyed your bit while you had, you know, Nuno over
I
there.
did not
eating
want to
cheese.
see
Nuno.
Yeah,
I was
eating
just
cheese.
eyeing up the cheese,
It's
man.
Sam
Good
Willem.
cheese.
'Cause I was
now.
listening to you, but on my the back of my head, I was like, there you go.
He has to be Nuno. He's consuming all the cheese.
There you go. Those are my boys. Hold on, you win. Those are my boys. Xerxes versus Qman. And when I look into CS at 15,
Listen.
Huh?
Oh, I know it's the numbers. They are very confusing, but these numbers are there for a reason. This CS at 15 might look very negative for Xerxes, but this is actually a very positive number, because these two junglers, they have completely different play style. While Skirmishes is a little bit more of, hey, I bring in the damage, I bring in the action I want to carry. Xerxes is there for the team. He is there as an accelerator. He goes around the lanes, he looks for opportunities to uplift somebody else. And that's why the CS at 15 is so low, but all the other numbers are really high.
Okay.
And look, I'll take my BDSA hat off for a second here. Solari's correct, because Xerxes has been playing multiple different styles. He's not just been on those carry junglers. He has looked towards some of those tank options. But you are seeing things like the Diana, the Zyra from him there as well. He does have that in the pool. So don't just get confused because the average is weird. It's not in those champions. On the other side, for Skewmon, though, he has been the LFL MVP for a reason. His level has been so consistently high. He's proven it here at the tournament. The doubters from the LFL have been proven pretty damn wrong. That Talia game in particular, which the two Jakes cast, he was absolutely insane and pretty much solo got them back into a game where I looked at Abadaga on that Tristana was going to run over it.
And I think there's two words you can associate with what these guys are saying that like really sums it up perfectly, as you're saying, Solari. Like, you know, one is kind of like a dog to his lane. Is like Xerxes will move for his lanes, right? Like he sacrifices. He's not a carry style jungler. He's a ganking jungler, and it's not all that generic. It's not always that generic. Most of the time, he fits that category. Carry jungler on the other side for Skewmon. That's why he gets MVP. Guy plays a lot of carries in the jungle. So carry versus a supportive jungler, and who's more efficient in the game upcoming?
Depends on the team as we look into it in the grand scheme of things. We're about to jump into the first game of this best of 5. BDSA picked red side.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Oh my God.
Just letting you know before we jump into the champion select, and we have a few seconds. I want to know who's going to win from the entire desk. Cheese.
Cheese. Heretics win 3-0, whole series done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at this point, it would be wrong if I didn't say BDSA. And I think there's a lot of good reasons for them to win. Obviously, I said on the podcast, I said, look, Heretics. But, you know, I've done some thinking. I've obviously done a lot of prep for today. I think BDSA are going to make Heretics sweat when they try to make those macro moves, and they will punish them really hard for it. And I don't think Xerxes is going to get as free an option to play the jungle the way he wants to.
I'd like some coffee, but since I don't have that, I have the very strong opinion that it's going to be a 3-2 series, but it's going to be Heretics winning it.
A 3-2 series. So
I just
who
want
takes
a
the first
5-game
one?
series. I like
Who
it.
takes the first one?
No, you know what? Heretics take the first one. Then it's 2 games before BDSA. And then 2 more for
You
Heretics.
just saying a repeat of SemiFinals in 2022, because that's how it happened there as well, basically.
100%.
Okay, yes, you got me.
Sometimes you can't let go of the past. Aesthetics.
Heretics 3-1. And I think blue side game 1 is Heretics. Xerxes will get himself Sedge or Malka, whatever's left open, and he'll get to play his playstyle and play off the fact that his lanes are just going to be better.
You know the teams, you know everything so far. You know all the players might as well know what's going to be picked on the first game as we look into the champion select.
Jeez.
We're going to start this one with blue side for Heretics, BDSA on the red side. Ooh, a lot of AD carries, but tell me, Jake.
Coco Melon to the
Go for it.
Makes sense.
Can I have my phone back?
Oh, okay. Please don't die.
fine.
Please
Okay.
don't die. We're still talking about
I would
champion
love to
select.
see what's happening, but I'm sorry, I've caught
So,
it cheese
Ash and
gremlin.
Bra being removed from
Just
Heretics.
so good.
Misfortune, first pick for Heretics. Instantly, BDSA Academy still have the way with. I mean, you have to go to the.
I think it is again interesting that we see that Draven ban
Yeah,
again that Jake pulled out.
100% still.
They just and again, it reminds me of a story from back in 2022 when people left it open once. And Jack locks it in, and it earns them away to finals when it looked like they should have fallen out in semis because they went, yeah, we stopped scrimming it because we knew we could play it. We didn't need to practice it, and everyone assumed they weren't playing it anymore. And turns out Jack still knew how to play Draven, so it just had to go away. But of course, the Misfortune first pick potentially is BDSA with that Jin Zyra combo that they have loved. When it was split apart, it didn't look all that pretty in the round of 16, and both Jakes really didn't like that. But they've gone for the Rel here. I wonder whether Xerxes is going to be obligated to lock in the Zyra as a result.
Yeah, I mean, there is still brand open, so if BDSA want to go with the Wombo combo for the Jin, they can go for brand, and it's still going to work pretty much in the same way. But I like Heretics taking away the Zyra from them because it's a little bit too much to pair it up with Rel.
But much like Leona into Misfortune, Leona into Jin, if you time it right, you can just completely nullify the ult from the Jin by pressing R. However, you've now got the Rel engage, which can be followed up from the really long-range artillery piece of the Jin and Rumble. So BDS's draft, at least in terms of that mid-game power spike, is still there. But I like what Heretics have got in terms of at least mitigating, say, the Jin.
Keep in mind, this Rumble will probably go top. What we've seen on EMEA Masters, that Rumble being played in the jungle as well. So always keep that in your mind. There's a percentage of an idea where Skewmon can pilot this Rumble.
He can. I I wouldn't expect this to happen, to be fair. It looks like such a good pick for Gen.G or for the top lane, especially against Carlson. We still don't know what Carlson is going to be playing, and with Heretics on blue side, it limits the options for flex a little bit, but it's still there.
What I will say is that BDSA have the option to do it. And obviously, Skewman can do it. And basically, if they come in now and they lock in a mid laner for Rika on 4, they can wait to see what happens. They go, okay, either we need something from the jungle or we're happy to take the Rumble top lane and be happy about it. So they can see Heretics round out the draft before they decide exactly where that Rumble wants to go. But I think it is worth pointing out they could flex it. They've got rid of the double AD carries that Carlson loves to draft topside. There's still the Zeri option, but generally we only see that into Cassante. That is still strictly open if they want to give away the Rumble flex now. But I don't think they would do that on BDSA's side.
Yeah, the Renekton is banned, so that signifies that Heretics still doesn't believe 100% that the Rumble will be on the top side. But it's time BDSA have to open end on something, either the mid lane or they have to reveal even the jungler.
I will also say that Renekton could have been a mid lane ban because we've seen a bit of that Renekton mid. So we have
go.
seen a lot of teams at this level more than willing to cook. They've locked in a Jarvan now as well. They can really make that spicy hot pot combo. You throw down the wok from the Jarvan and everyone else layers in a few spicy ingredients, and there's not a lot of mobility on the side of Heretics. That Zyra and that Misfortune, if they don't have the flash, will suffer from the combo.
There is also a possibility where this Rumble could stay in Rika's hands. I'm just thinking about it. Rika has a massive champion pool. Unlike Sertius, who likes to pivot into very specific things like this Yone, for example, that Heretics speaks for themselves, Rika can play whatever this guy wants.
Okay. The Jace has been a Rika special. It's another thing that can follow up from a screen away like pretty much everyone else on the team and would add into that wombo combo. So I suspect that would be the call, but instead goes towards the LeBlanc. Fortunately, we've got a LeBlanc specialist on the casting desk, and I can already see Hipbrain's smiling face. He's happy to see it, and it allows you to play a little bit more for that mid-game power spike. You can dive with it. You can look to play picks. You've got follow-up on the LeBlanc if she's making plays on the side lane, but it gives you a little bit more kill pressure on a side lane in particular.
Especially if you look, it's not just LeBlanc. You never look at LeBlanc alone. You look at who she's paired with in the jungle. And we talked about the importance of Skewman plus Rika combo. Now it's J4 plus LeBlanc. This is a deadly combination from the mid lane. And I would be worried for Heretics backlane right now because both Zyra and Misfortune, if they get called by one, they are dead immediately.
The only concern right now, at least for me, when you look into that composition, is you have a lot of AP, unless Skewman goes with a little bit of AD with a Jarvan. Jin is going to be left alone on the AD department. If he falls behind a little bit, it might be lacking a little bit of damage.
BDSA's comp spikes really heavily at level 6 and just the mid-game in general. If it doesn't work in the mid-game, Heretics with the comp they've got, if they get to set up around objectives and watch those flanks and the damage isn't really there or is behind from BDSA, they should have an easier time in those team fights if they can hold on. And then you start to have the things like the Yone will be able to match in the side lanes well enough. And you get to the point where the Zyra, the Yone, the Misfortune should have a better time in those team fights, assuming you can survive the kind of wombo combo the BDSA have drafted for the mid game.
Well, semifinals are upon us and the Rift awaits for us. But with that in mind, we need to toss it to the voices who are going to be carrying us today. It is Hipbrain and Aesthetics with the man and the cheese.
That's right. We are the voices in your head. Listen to us.
Why did both our casting names also start with the same letter?
I know. I did notice that the other day,
It's the
actually.
same syllables, but
Something about the name Jay. Right, let's talk draft. Let's talk about this game.
I'd love to.
I absolutely adore BDS's draft. And controversially, I actually not a massive fan of the LeBlanc in here. LeBlanc typically a champion who you play through early and into mid game, and then she kind of falls off a bit of a cliff.
True.
I feel like if you'd had that Jace, you would have had something that handles the Yone in lane, also scales into the late game very effectively. The wombo combo and the ease of execution was there. LeBlanc has kind of moved out from that. Now, it isn't a mobile Misfortune, so if they're forced to burn summoner spells and LeBlanc gets a good flank, then yeah, there's a kill angle there. And I hate to say it, but the LeBlanc is the only thing I'm a little bit iffy on. But overall, I really like what BDS have put together.
Yeah, I mean, their identity plays through Skewmond as we expected, right? Again, with this Jarvan, it's about proactivity on the map. It's about the early levels, right? Because Jarvan does still fall off a cliff, and especially against Zyra, like,
yeah,
if you're engaged whiffs, and they talked about it a little bit on desk, then there's a lot of leeway for Lost Heretics to play through. And that's just something I want to bring up. Initialize was talking about it. Mid-game spikes here for BDS, but more importantly, the early lanes are so important. If this team from BDS Academy falls behind, then Lost Heretics can play easy front to back in team fights. They can play this game out, chill with the Yone in side lanes as well. And I think they're going to struggle to have anything to kind of match. And I mean, I know you don't like the LeBlanc in the context of it. at least in the early game and playing through the map and using some of the mobility, I feel like that's their goal, is to like overload some of these sides, dive as much as possible, and accelerate the game until there's no game left by 25 minutes in.
You've nailed it. That's exactly it, right? Like, Rika's job here is to just accelerate the pace of the game on this LeBlanc. If they do kind of sit on their laurels, which I don't expect them to do, they're obviously going to have a rough time of it. And we can see Rika is running cut down, which is very common go-to now for LeBlanc players.
The flash is burned from Certus. I mean, that's big for the lane.
A lot of pressure now already started up. Did start chains though, so your first wave is going to be a little bit more rough.
I'll be bouncing off you for the massive LeBlanc info as we get all in bot.
This is just absolute carnage to kick it off. Heretics do typically play for like these bloodbath games, so
Ignite.
I'm not overly surprised by that. But the Ignite now blown on White-In. Cleanse Ignite burn from Paris and Kadui with just the flash from White-In, but he's got Hex Flash, so he's all right.
I mean, bot is a wave that I would say, like, for Zyra as well, the slow build-up of this wave, you expect level 2 is going to be gained by Heretics as well, and they get pressure. The one lane that I think Xerxes can play through, so there is potential to set up for an early dive here, especially without that cleanse available for double lockdown CC that comes through that 3-stack. We'll keep an eye on bot, especially for Heretics, as the solo lanes we talked about for BDSA are the focus here. LeBlanc with the TP, the Ignite. Pure tempo, pure for the lane, like we set up for BDSA's overall win conditions.
Yeah, I'm starting to see this more on LeBlanc with TP Ignite variant, where you just forsake the flash because you basically have that in your kit anyway. Gives you so much pressure, and LeBlanc's biggest weakness is her ability to be shoved in under tower, and if you've taken Ignite to the kill lane, then you're going to lose farm when you have to go back and reset. Really makes up for that. Now, having a quick look at where the junglers are, we actually see that Skumond forsake their wolves, went straight to blue side. So they're trying to keep like map tempo with Xerxes. So they want to be on this bot side of the map in case anything goes down here, knowing that this is how the Zyra plays. You clear very quick and you look for a gank before grab.
And this is how Heretics play too, right? The reason they're doing this, or the reason Skumond's doing this, is because he's like, well, Carlson always plays weak side, and he's also on the Cassante lane too. Like, what much are you going to achieve, especially when you know that with the early info that Xerxes was starting top thanks to Certus also covering for that horizontal invade. So he's going back to his Raptors now after he's cleared. Bot is still getting the push in, and this timing here, I'm surprised Skumond actually left.
Yeah, that was a bit of a misread by Skumond. I guess they felt like the dive wasn't really going to happen.
Yeah, thin wave.
See a little bit of a poke, and yeah, I think ultimately this actually works out for BDSA because it means that Skumond's going to be topside for his crab, so he's now matched with Xerxes, and Xerxes wasn't really able to achieve much bot side.
I think as well, you know, further to that point, it's like, well, I've got topside scuttle, and, you know, I need to keep track and keep tempo with Xerxes also means getting to level 6 as fast as possible, because while Jarvan has a lot of early access to these lanes, his damage with Cataclysm is massive. Like,
yeah,
his all-in burst with base items, with just, you know, base levels is massive. So that's what we're looking forward to for Skumond as well. As I know it was another point from the desk that they were talking about how level 6 interacts with this game. And for BDSA, of course, there's a lot of all-in through this top side. And I know you being absolute LeBlanc savant is when you not only get more wave clear, but a lot more dive potential with that kit as well.
Yeah, being able to get that second W off is just so powerful for LeBlanc. But, I mean, she's pretty good right up until kind of like, I'd say 3 items.
Yep.
Like, she still obviously will one-shot someone like, you see Jack Spectre getting one-shot. Might have to hold that thought, though, because the crash down does make a connection there. Kadui's ignited. He's going low. He just about survives. Paris still has flash, so they waddle out as well. Heretics burning the flash there from Kadui, but not getting anything else.
But the kill doesn't really matter here because the wave is going to get denied. Paris can't hold this off, and with this wave crashing in, there's a chance of a plate or at least a tempo reset here for Jack Spectre and White-In. So it's still good. The all commit doesn't hurt them in the end. Remember that losing the flash means that this Jin is still liable for the dive that we talked about first. It can be repeated, and Xerxes, as he starts rushing towards level 6, will have more and more burst to add to the kit. So the bot for Heretics in this early game, you look at it like a mitigation factor of all the win conditions we talked about with BDSA, and they're hitting the nail on the head to kick us off.
And it's really good as well when you look at the farm difference there. So Kadui got sent packing. He was half the CS of Jack Spectre. Jack Spectre, fresh off this recall, got the Vamp Scepter, so a bit more sustained for themselves, and now they're able to move back into this lane and continue to control that area. Now, I think, what is the game plan for BDSA right now? So we talked about this LeBlanc and Skumond specifically as a pair who should be duoing up.
Hello.
That's what I want to see, but it looks like Whiten is just looking to pressure onto Rika for the moment. Xerxes in the area as well. We might have a bit of a 2v3 as he jumps in with a flag and drag. Whiten eats the chains and is forced to flash away.
Hey, well, that flash hurts a little bit. Dragon should just be a free take and start here now as well, especially since Whiten, as he roams away, he loses that pressure in bot side, so Jack Spectra gets pushed against as Kadui now comes back to the wave. So Dragon going to be solo started here, but the question is grub for the trade for Xerxes. He's pinging down, looking for that himself, and Skumond won't be the fastest Dragon taker at the very least. So this should just be a handshake deal where BDSA regain some of the control and start the stacking up here in this comp that, again, wants to really take control over 1-2 items.
Alrighty, well, Skumond able to secure this first Dragon for his team. Only the Hextech Soul, but Dragon even, but a bit of tenacity is nice. He's actually doing what Zyro does best and absolutely powering through these objectives.
You know what we saw in mid before, though? You know how offstage I was talking about how Yone's most broken part of his kit is his W.
Yeah.
And people don't really think about it. You saw that LeBlanc trade before. It was a decent LeBlanc trade. I mean, Yone hit everything, but because of W, it's such a meaty shield in the early game. It's disgusting.
It's actually a really weird matchup. As a LeBlanc player, really don't like playing into Yone. I think you do have kill pressure in this lane. It's not a hard counter matchup, but that W really makes your life hard. This is the power of the cut down though. Right? This is the power of the cut down though, because you do get that kind of bit of extra execute damage down the line as you slowly whittle them away.
But you know, at least the matchup in this game is like a little bit disingenuous because Certus lost his flash, and I feel like in this lane too, you know, losing flash and like knowing that you're versing a Jarvan, you're definitely going to play the lane a little bit safe, probably forego some of the trades that can put you in kill range too. So I'm not sure how much we take away from this, apart from the fact that Rika is up anyway, as you'd, I guess, expect from losing the flash. Gen.G is too. There's a 10 CS lead in both those solo laners. Note there's a big wave building up for Certus, so he'll be within that 10 margin soon. And it's all off-countered by the fact that bot is up with Jack Spectra. So that's why right now the gold is even here in this early game with even objectives apiece, with 3 grubs picked up before by Xerxes.
Yeah, I think right now, just kind of looking at the state of the mid, this LeBlanc, yes, they're up in farm, but I feel like that is a factor to kind of play into off the back of Certus losing that flash. I want to see Rika move around the map. I want to see Rika try and get Kadui back into this game with a pick onto Jack Spectra, who is still currently flashless and not too much time left on that. You've got Skumond, you've got the ability to kind of pair it with jungle and mid and actually start to accelerate other parts of the map, because LeBlanc isn't all just about getting solo kills in lane. She's a roaming assassin. You want to move her about. You want to open up the game through your side lanes via your LeBlanc. And we are seeing Rika has gone for a reset, hasn't got that teleport, so they're not going to be making a play down here, but Skumond is looking to do that. But Xerxes has got a read on this play because he's sitting in the bush, and I just think this is not really going to be happening, although Skumond repositioning and now moving into this bush.
I mean, the question is, what can he really get from it? There's no wards here, so he's going for a deep rush gank. Pulls off it anyway. The wave's not even big enough, and you know, Jack Spectra also level 6. Whiten should be hitting level 6 pretty soon too. Paris should be matching that, but I think for the time being, I mean, this is still a good game state. Heretics early game has been about mitigating anything that these lanes can do. So far, we're not really seeing any action because we are expecting, you know, these first items to come through. Second dragon fight, you know, maybe second grub fight as well. That's where we really put the attention now that people are starting to hit these big moments of level 6+, and those first items that pair with it gives a lot of damage access, especially to BDSA's comp, who will explode with a perfectly laid team fight.
Yeah, once they have that Cataclysm laid with the Equalizer, it is brutal. Wave clear coming out in the bot side there from Jack Spectra's ultimate, but Rika caught underneath his own tower. Certus with the solo kill. In comes Skumond though, he's got himself the Cataclysm. Xerxes making his way over with that E ready to throw down. Certus gets out and Rika punished.
Big kill, really big kill for the game as well. Teleport will be available for Rika, but maybe not in time to catch the rest of this wave. Regardless, we look at the replay here, and I keep telling you, bro, that W, yep. The W helps out. The ulti lands as well. The distortion doesn't come out in time to space it. And Certus, really well predicted, really well played, puts the Yone in a great spot in this early game.
You can see that Heretics actually aren't particularly fussed about going for this dragon, instead got their attention towards the grubs, as we are seeing Certus losing half his health thanks to Paris and Rika.
But he got the cannon.
But he did get the cannon. That's the big one.
Sam took the bloody cheese with him.
He did. He did take the cheese.
I was just looking. I'm like, but you know what I could go for right now in this early game? Bit of cheese.
Bro, I am so full. I hate so much
that
cheese on the
breed
day.
was so good. I don't know what the other one was. I think it was a goat's cheese. And speaking of goats,
Oh, Rika actually getting a nice trade there onto Certus. He flashes forward, but Skumon is able to flash away to safety. They do have a chains onto Certus, is now in with the curtain call. Kadui just trying to find his mark. Can't make the connection. Will land a quick shot in there as we do get the Magnus Storm coming out, and Rika's able to secure himself a kill. Carlson trying to break away. The LeBlanc Poem
Here's
passive
Gen.G.
is broken there as in comes Gen.G, but already Carlson's too low. Certus has re-entered the fray. Paris is able to survive the onslaught, and now Jack Spectre has to flash away. The Cataclysm lands onto Free. Kadui with the 4th shot secures another kill for Gen.G, and BDSA take the mid-fight.
they do take it. They get some gold up in this early game, and although not everything's perfectly layered down, we still get the effect of what an early game comp came here to do. 2 kills onto Gen.G after the fact as well, with Leandra he's now picked up with Sorks on top of that. I mean, it was well played from BDSA, but overall, I think here, you know, they're committing pretty hard onto Rika, and I'm talking about Certus here. Bad trade. The Q buffered, and Skumon getting out there was massive for the whole gameplay. He then buys his time, waits to go back in, and this is why the Equalizer, or rather, Cataclysm with Equalizer wasn't a combo. Rel Magnus Storm defensive, damage done from Kadui onto White in. I mean, it's a hard fight to track, let's be completely real, but as soon as Gen.G comes in, he burns Carlson alive, and then Skumon, after again, waiting a little bit there, getting some assists, getting some health back thanks to Triumph, goes in as we get a dive.
There's the bullet time on Gen.G, and down they go. Heretics got 6 grubs as well. So they're feeling quite pretty right
Dive
now as
again.
Rika's making his way over. Dive coming in onto Certus. Certus is taken down. Rika, fresh off the back with that Ludens, able to get himself that kill.
Right, so we need an update because Jordan's going to be looking at this like now we're starting to speed up a little bit. It's mid for top plates for the time being, but mid plates are going down a little bit quicker, and the wave also denied is great for this mid lane matchup. Kills also balancing out where Rika lost out in the solo kill, that now Certus isn't as ahead as you feel like he should have been thanks to that. But topside, Heretics are trying to buy a little bit more, and they might with Paris going in.
Flash Magnus Storm connects onto the 2. Kadui coming on onto that flank, and Xerxes goes down to Kadui. Jack Spectra's not even interested. White in flashes over the wall to safety as the curtain is drawn.
Oh, he's dead.
White in dodges 1, 2. Can he
Surely.
dodge the final?
Surely.
Misses the cue from Paris. Is going to eat that 4th shot as Paris is keeping the pressure up, but Certus is on the way over. Whiting's W is going to give a bit of sustain, and in comes Certus to save the day.
Oh,
Whiting survives, and now it's Paris in danger. Certus finds the knock up, and Paris is able to break away. Oh, the W from Kadui.
Somehow, some way. Yeah, flare the emote after that for sure. And BDSA, I mean, what a sick predict, man. Top side. They knew that Heretics were hovering. They knew that they were hovering the plate. There's no way Jack Spectra pushes up and stays on that turret with the resets coming through from BDSA. And, you know, it was also talked about on desk, I think, from Initialize, how well Paris has gone in this tournament, how good this guy is. And, you know, Spidey senses tingled. BDSA, with that setup as well, they deny any further push. They get picks off the back of it as well. Early game now up 2K. They picked up Dragons. I think they also weren't able to deny Grubs, but they've also been able to come back out on the map first and now look towards Herald and keep the tempo rolling, because that's what this comp has to do. They have to keep on going now. They can't slow down in the pace despite winning the last couple of plays.
Yeah, BDSA trying to move over and pressure onto this Herald, but Heretics able to muscle their way through.
I
That's what I was
don't
going to
know
say.
if they're trying to fight because Curtain Call's not up, but Magnus Storm's almost there. The problem is Certus doesn't have first item yet. And so if you look at parity, I mean, first item for those carries, like when you think of Chin, LeBlanc, when you think of Jarvan and Rumble, they'll burn them alive if Heretics try to fight an even fight.
Interesting from Rika, actually going for the Horizons focus build on the LeBlanc here, not going for the Shadow Flame, indicated by the fact there's another amp tone in the inventory. So going for a slightly different build. This is a build that we do see from LeBlancs. I think it's kind of down to personal preference on which one you want to go for, but BDSA looking for a fight. White in, catches on, the bullet time goes down. It hasn't been broken yet, but a beautiful ult comes in, catches smashing everybody inside the Cataclysm, and
Oh
the
my
red carpet
God.
is laid down just to cook them on the spot. Carlson eating all of these curtain calls. Paris does find himself knocked back, and Certus is actually feeling pretty tanky here. Gets the knock up on the 2. Beautiful fate sealed. Does get a turnaround kill as Rika tries to jump forward, unable to secure the kill, but ultimately BDSA still win the fight.
I mean, I said it. Why are they fighting there as well? Item parity isn't there, and the fight for Herald should be dropped. Play for sides and give Certus a bit of time. Teleport for that as well from Carlson, from Certus to get near the fight. Now that that's down as well, how do you start playing side lanes going into the mid game when this LeBlanc Jarvan are going to be a roaming gank squad, when Rumble's range starts coming to effect with the level 11 equalizer and so much damage to boot? I think for Heretics, a bit of a misread, and it hurts them here.
Yeah.
Like, once again, watch this, right? Okay, this is, okay. This is an escape. I want to see the other fight. I want to see Whiten engaging around Herald because they thought they had numbers advantage. I don't care about this. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't care about this. This is
It was a nice little W from
It's
Kadui.
nice. Oh my God, the lag.
Wait, was he trying to hit Certus? He was trying to hit Certus.
Oh, that's why we lagged.
Wait, no, was it a...
It
no,
was
no,
a Q.
It was a Q.
It was a bouncing grenade.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, it was. Okay, now
that is
I care
heartbreaking.
about it a little bit more.
That was quite cool,
I
actually.
do care about that. That's true. I take it back.
I want to praise Rika because
Do you?
I had my
You
thoughts on LeBlanc.
absolute biased LeBlanc, mate.
Well, I actually said I didn't like the LeBlanc here, but he's done exactly what he needed
You
to do.
didn't like it in the comp, but you love LeBlanc.
I do. I really do. He's done exactly what he needed to do. I didn't think it really suited the comp, but he has accelerated the game in favor of BDSA. 4-1-4. Horizon Focus now finished up to Certus, who's just sitting on that Blade of the Ruined King. Him and Skumon, while Skumon's KDA isn't as flashy as Rika's, he's done some serious work. And this jungle mid synergy that we were talking about,
Yep.
they have paired up beautifully in this game.
It really has. And when we talked about Xerxes and Carlson, in our pre-show, like, remember the comp that they're playing. They're looking for front to back. They're looking for a slow pace of game. They have traded in this early game, but, the whiff around Herald was a bit of an issue. And I think as well, that mid-fight going wrong and over-committing for Heretics has stabbed them in the back quite a lot. Now the gold is there. You've already mentioned the LeBlanc items, but we've almost got 2 for Kadui as well. And there's a blighting jewel on Genax. Oh, so the Rumble is going to shred through, and it's going to get even worse as the game goes on, as Paris might be caught out.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage, but
Awful.
Certus is pulled back. As we do see Dragon number 3 go over to BDSA. Cloud Soul, actually really nice for the side of BDSA. I know you'd rather have a Hex Tech or an Infernal, but having that extra movement speed gives the opportunity to get a flank angle for Rika. Later in the game, it means he might be able to get around the back and take out this Misfortune, take out Xerxes. Rika getting dove underneath the tower here by Certus, who finds the shutdown. That champion's not okay.
It's not okay. He played it really close to the chest, though, and he didn't even ult in the end. He had enough damage with Blade of the Ruined King, thanks to the support as well. Shutdown given over. Okay, stops the side lanes, opens up the bottom side turret. That's great. And look at top. The push-up as well, despite Herald going mid. I mean, Herald mid will have a defense for the inner turret. BDSA, they're trading here, but remember, trading is not enough when you're the comp that really needs to keep tempo in play.
I think I'm bot lane with it.
They're going to try at the very least, but you can see
you're
things are
dead for
going
that.
down.
Oh no, Certus is resetting. Okay, they're all right.
I mean, look, it'll get some damage down, but I don't think it'll get the turret in the end.
I mean, I guess it was safer to use it there than on the tier 2 mid. You get a chunk of damage
it's
out of
good.
that tower.
It's good.
It
Good
gives
damage.
you the ability to cash in on the gold later. And speaking of gold, 1,700 gold separating the teams.
Oi.
Might be a little bit more as Jack Spectra's caught, but actually a beautiful turnaround comes in. Lovely ult from Xerxes just to zone Kadui off.
A big question. Skumon just thought, what, I could burst here? Like, I could get flash out, but Heretics held firm. They weren't pulled by that little bluff. 3 versus 2 and a Jin as well. Like, bro, there's no DPS in that circle.
That was really nice. Xerxes Wild Growth. Is it Wild Growth? I can't remember the name of the ultimate now.
Definitely not.
No, that's someone else, isn't it?
Grasping Thorn? No.
Stranglethorns.
Stranglethorns, that's it.
Stranglethorns, there it is. Stranglethorns was really good.
Yeah.
Inside the pit meant Skumon was in danger no matter where he went. Also zoned Kadui off. Mistake from BDSA's jungle, though, to be honest. More than a good or punish.
I mean, not only a mistake, but like Rika challenging bot as well before. Turret's going to go down in the meantime as Certus just gets out of that one. But I mean, that play hurt. Anything Heretics can do to stop the game down is such a good piece of play. And there's been 2 now as well. Brought some gold back into this mid lane. Brought some gold into AD as well as neutralizing some of this mid push. 1.5k gold at 20 minutes. Only thing left is the soul to deny. And for Heretics, I'd be saying that they'd be in a good game state to counterbalance.
Yeah. Interestingly, when you look at where the gold is, the majority of the gold lead is actually on Gen.X. He has got the biggest lead here as Jack Spectra's finding himself in danger. Remember, they do still have that flash. They held their nerve earlier. His curtains don't really do too much there. Rika comes over the wall and connects chains onto Carlson. Not really the target they want. I think Whiting's mouse disconnected there for a second. That was a bit of a bizarre ultimate
he's had some interesting solar flares so far, and as Fate Sealed comes through, Gen.X dodges.
Yeah, he's going to take a lot of damage though. Oh my word, he's almost got the kill. Tower goes down.
Yo, nay. Hell yeah. I mean, that's
so unbalanced.
Yeah, 2 item versus 2 item. Who thought the Rumble would lose? But, I mean, Certus there. Big pick. Gets the flash out as we go again.
Well, Rika is actually also very fed, so he just chunks Certus out heavily. He's going to have to W away, and looks like we're just going to cool it off for a second. There's 1 minute 30 until Soul spawns up, so you know BDSA going to be able to kind of use that as a pressure point on Baron more than Dragon. Just the idea that they could go do that Dragon and secure Soul or do Baron is a lovely pick here from Xerxes.
Wait.
Rika has to jump away.
The only thing from that, though, is that even though Rika doesn't have TP, he can back here and he can come to Dragon. I'm not sure if Xerxes' ult, it should be up right. That flew, by the way. I don't know who Kadui was hitting. I think Jack Spectra, but he literally sent it to base. Maybe Stranglethorns, not big enough to be concerned about. 1 minute to the Dragon, as you said, and Xerxes' ulti should be up by then, so no harm, no foul for the 2 item Zara as well, and that's what we need to talk about here, Brain. Items have come on board. We've got 2 items for Gen.X, as said before, almost 3 approaching for Rika with the needlessly large. I see a Jin with a pickaxe in inventory as well. So we are definitely at one of the stronger points of BDSA, and this has to be their fight. They have to get Soul off this, because Heretics, they're going to start scaling out of their right mind, I feel like, after this fight.
Certus teleported in to join up. Rika's lost a lot of HP to those plants. They're actually doing a lot of work. White in as well, but does have the Warmog, so that's just poke that will come back and really be laid off there. Skumon, I thought he was jumping Jack Spectre there, decides to hold the fort. Paris has that flash. Magnetstorm flash could be very big here. Just a clone, not the real LeBlanc. Carlson finds himself in a little bit of danger. They get a massive engagement onto Kadui. He has to cleanse and flash away. Solar Flare doesn't hit his marks. The curtain gets called. Whiting's eating a couple of those shots. They do go on to Jack Spectra here. Certus is now just going to turn that one back around. 1 kill over to the side of Heretics. Carlson low HP. Jack Spectra with that Bloodthirster. That's the item. Just get healed back up. And Heretics ultimately just get the control of the area.
That's so big. I mean, they're going to get Dragon 2 here as well because of that pick. And Paris is engaged. The right thought process, the right time. But unfortunately, the rest of BDSA aren't there to capitalize. And because of that, Dragon's denied. That is huge for the game state of Heretics. This hurts BDSA, who've had a couple of really good fights in the early game, but haven't been able to get that dream layering to set up to really spike the ball down.
One minor thing about that as well was if you actually rewind a little bit earlier when Rika got chunked but didn't get killed, it meant he couldn't catch the wave. So a couple of waves actually crashed top and really chunked out that top tower. Lost a lot of golden experience off the side of BDSA as well. So it was only a minute thing, but a couple of mistakes kind of snowballed into what we just saw.
I mean, a couple of mistakes have snowballed the game in total as well.
Yeah.
We're not going to replay because we're kind of sitting around this Baron for the time being. And, you know, for BDSA, they're going to try and force the fight. But you can see this is really good setup from Heretics. Look at where Certus and Carlson are. They push in waves. They don't go over a river vision. They wait. Where's their team move? Where does their team clear? Topside for now, a little bit safer, but Certus doesn't need to over push any of these waves. Carlson doesn't need to do the same thing. They just need to match, react, and then play it safe because BDSA are the ones who are looking for a play consistently. Heretics are fast approaching their third item on their Misfortune, but the Yone will be the same as well, who looks like he's going for a Jack Show third. They're in a good spot. They can front to back these team fights, and already we've seen this start to go a bit of Heretics' way as well, unless BDSA get perfect layering, which we haven't seen so far.
Also, for the side of Heretics, it's definitely not in their interest to fight right now because Rika has teleport and Certus hasn't. He used it to get into that dragon fight earlier. So you kind of have to play in mind that if you are looking for fight, you need to rotate everyone over. And it becomes more telegraphed that way. That's
why you can see that, you know, Carlson's been managing bot wave. He's got TP up, as you said. Certus hits top because on the Baron side of the map is where you want to stay, and Certus can easily react after pushing a wave. as he does now as well as BDSA. They've had their vision cleared in the river. Certus is looking.
Yeah, he's going to get himself the knock-up, but he's going to eat a whole heap of damage. Good Cataclysm. Fate Steel flash away. Certus is flashed onto by Skumond, and that was a pretty major mistake from him.
But why? But why? We've got vision on Baron. Heretics, you've got a control ward in front of that thing. I just don't understand. Why do we need to face check?
And now they lose all that control because they're down their Yone, so they have to back off and give up the vision, and now they're playing with no idea of what's really going on now. Jack Spectre does have the blue ward, so he will be able to place that down.
They'll smash this down.
This is going to have to be a miracle.
Why face check?
Certus, his mistake is now starting to really bear some fruit as
I'm
Heretics.
gonna need that cheese.
They're pushing in. As here comes a bullet time. It's pretty big. Baron is going to get secured. Paris is trying to be a nuisance, but he is cut down super fast. White in, can't find an opening to get onto anyone. No Zenith Blade available, and they trade their support for Baron.
That's worth.
That's so worth.
That's worth, and their ability to push out these sides. I mean, not much standing gold outside of Inners, right? But Inners still stand, and that's still technically, well, it's standing gold, you know what I'm saying. Heretics for the bounce back are going to try, at least with BDS. Their reset after Baron, but no mid opening, and BDSA now with this gold as well, being able to pick up an Infinity Edge on the Jin. They've got a Zhonya's here for Genax. I talked about it before. I mean, they can still find a fight. BDSA, it's not like, oh no, there's 25 minutes, they're out of the game.
Yeah.
As, which one was this?
Oh, this is the grenade. Follows him home. Boom.
Okay, I've seen this twice. Let's look at something else. I'm happy. I love the cheese. Everything's been great. But I literally, I just want to know why top. Certus, I'm breaking it down in my mind. Like, the drop a ward. Yeah, but what does Pixel Brush Ward do in topside? You've got wave clear. You don't have to show your teams in enemy jungle clearing vision there in front of Baron.
Yeah.
But Genax is like, you've got a ward on back. There is no reason. Yo, at me, at HystericsCast on Twitter, if there's a reason, tell me. Because I think from Certus, that was just grief. And I don't know if this cost them the game, because again, I still think they've got a lot to rest on their laurels, but it just depends on what BDSA can set up from Baron, because they've got a lot of dive here.
Oh, big solar flare into the pick, into the bullet time. Rika gets caught out. What a solar flare from Whiten.
Yeah, one of the best of the game. Again, we've been critical of them, but that one, with that pick off and that timing as well, means that Baron play stops immediately. They might be able to pick off mid off this as well, because the BDSA, they're back off with numbers disadvantage.
It's Dragon as well.
I mean, that's a big deal. Rika has teleport, 30 seconds to match it. He'll get the back end of Baron, but mid's now open. And Heretics, the only question here is, Hipbrain, do those 3 ultis being down give BDSA still a good chance to fight with the numbers disadvantage with the teleport to bring it back to an even 5v5?
It's going to be on Certus and how he positions in this next fight. He's back on the map. He's making his way over. Heretics.
I think they can still win, by the way. BDSA, I think they can win a team fight
agree.
here. No ultis for Heretics is big.
Solar Flare's almost back up as well, which is really big for them. Carlson jumps in. Paris only connects onto Whiten. We get the teleport from Rika. He's going to join into the fray. Dragon's already secured as the curtain has been called. Lovely equalizer. Skumond has an angle here. What a cataclysm. Jack Spectre's still alive. The Bloodthirster heals him up, and he's able to walk away from that one. Meanwhile, Carlson on the run from Genax, breaking away. Flash Blast Cone taken out by Kadui, but still Heretics trading 2. They got the Dragon. They kept Jack Spectre alive. Paris is maybe looking for him here. Certus finds himself caught out by the Deadly Flourish, and this fight's not done. Solar Flare and Bullet Time is available. Fate Seals to break away for the moment. Heretics, there's a turn angle. Whiten, if he can find it, he might go for it. Kadui gets caught. He's just going to play for the sacrifice. Down goes the mid tower, and BDSA get it something out of that.
And an initial trade, it's not worth, because denial of Dragon and moving to an early Elder as well as giving Cloud Soul is always the better trade for BDSA. But then it turns into a kill bot as well as opening up mid inner turret. Some gold taken down that they would have found with the Baron naturally. As we look at the replay, and you know, the equalizer's nice. Skumond coming through tries to lay it down, but they're already out of the equalizer. The hot pot ain't there. No Huogwa for Heretics. And for BDSA, they just clean up the background pieces. But it was a close fight, and again, it kind of showed what we were talking about, that there's still a lot of damage here on the BDSA Wombo, but as the fight draws out, it gets harder and harder to clean up those set pieces. However, The kills and the mid turret that went down leads BDSA to a 5k gold lead, and more importantly, leads us to LeBlanc now to avoid staff and another needlessly large rod. We've got a 4-item Jin as well. The fact that they are above item parity always gives BDSA a chance. And with these ultis back up and available, and with a Baron in front, or rather the lack thereof in vision.
Oh, big pick there on a Paris. He jumps in with the Magnustorm, does catch them. The Cataclysm's huge, but the Strangle Forms are even bigger. They're in the hot pot, getting cooked. Down goes Jack Spectra. Carlson trying to break away, but the chains are onto him. Xerxes has to flash away. Carlson's still alive, has the all-out, can kidnap someone if he needs to, but he is donezo here. Taken out by Rika. Only 2 members of Heretics stand.
That range, and even if Paris gets to sacrifice his life, the range always comes in as well. And if Gen.X and Skewmond are only able to find 1-2 members, I mean, still getting that pick opens up the fight in the same way. Certus under turret.
Oh, Certus is getting melted. Gen.X has to go for the Zonyas. They look for the ult with the fate sealed. Secure the damage. Xerxes stopwatches. He's able to stay alive for a while. Rika now taking a lot of damage. The tower shot, the burn. He's gonna survive. Heretics hold on.
They only just Certus with a massive turn makes up for before. And under turret, if they didn't have that turn, that inner turret was dead, and I fear a lot more would start bouncing back because BDSA have capitalized off the mistakes, have capitalized off fights that haven't felt real.
White in, you're on your own.
Yeah, he's by himself.
He's dead. There is no way. I mean,
they have enough
Certus is
damage?
close
No,
by.
I mean, he is. I don't think he's dead. He can just walk to Certus. Wait for Kadui.
Coming in, catch a cheeky knock up. There's going to be a deadly flourish going wide. Paris chunked, but Warmog, so he'll heal back up. Poor Whiten, that was a bit greedy.
It was. He survives. That's big because Baron's up in 5 seconds, and if White-In dies there for his deep ward, then the game is over. BDSA, they know that they're ahead in gold. They know that they've got the damage here as teleport comes through. Heretics still feel confident in front to back with an almost 3-item Cassante. But BDSA, if they get on these carries with that setup,
Certus,
it's over all the same.
Don't walk in and get caught. He gets flagged, he gets dragged, he gets flashed onto. He's in danger. The bullet time's pretty big to turn it around. 1-for-1. Magnustorm onto the equalizer means they lose Xerxes as soon as he joins the fight. Jack Spectra's still alive. Over the wall, Rika goes. Double kill was secured in the meanwhile, but there's going to be the Kadui getting the kill onto Jack Spectra. White-In is the only one left standing. Zenith Blade doesn't finish Rika. That should be the game for BDSA. What a turnaround, and again, it's Certus getting caught.
It's again the same play from Heretics, again walking where they had no vision, walking into the engage and getting picked off. And for BDSA, I feel like they've been hand gift wrapped this game, and the start of this series ain't going how we expected.
Not at all. Tower number 1 goes down. Tower number 2, very quick to follow. No one's coming up in time to save the Spanish representatives in this game 1. BDSA take down the Nexus as 1 up.
Well, all I can say about that is Certus, that original throw was rough, and there, I think his ulti was down for another 5 seconds.
Yep.
Because he used it in mid-turret. He used it for the turn. And that was kind of the thing for Heretics as well, outside of the pick. Like, there were a couple of fights where ultis are down, they commit for the pick, and then they move to these objectives, or at least try to. And with ult disadvantage, they still try and take the fight against a comp that, again, relies on their ultis, relies on these close corridors. This is not the Heretics that we saw in quarterfinals that we talked about being clean. Again, not knowing their win cons and not knowing how they win the game. The game should have been a lot more chill than that with how the early game wrapped up and how they punished BDSA.
Well, that was a very, very exciting game. Lots of action, lots of blood. Hopefully we get more. We're going to pass it over to the desk to break that game down.
There's no more cheese, by the way.
No.
First game coming in for LFL. BDSA winning this one. We talked about there was a window to begin the game, but I don't think they cared about windows.
No, and for all that it wasn't the Heretics we saw from quarterfinals, that was a little bit more of what we saw from the round of 16. Some of those face checks came back to bite them, and honestly, what BDSA had drafted for was all in on those level 6 bikes. They had a lot of burst, but the consistent damage maybe wasn't going to be quite as high as, say, a Yone and a Misfortune later on in the game with the Zyra, right? But then it gets a bit messy in the early game. BDSA get a few moments, but then the 6 grub, the pegs back. It looks like Heretics had stabilized well enough to start playing the game they wanted to. And in the end, it just didn't work out that way.
We finally had the game where Jin kind of became the main star of the show, right? He wasn't there just for the setup. And that binds with the fact that, yes, I agree with Initialize. They wanted to play around their berries, especially from the LeBlanc. But since it didn't really work out for them that well in the early game, they had to transition into something else. And they had Jin in a really good spot who was able to provide them with his DPS later on in the game.
But this is that first play where basically it looks like BDSA have fumbled a skirmish in mid lane. And you can see Carlson saying, right, I'm going to teleport and we'll go for this. And then the combo comes in because Gen.G is here, Kadui is here, and suddenly your ability to get down a lot more of that damage from absolutely miles away comes into play. And we start seeing it over and over again. This one was a great play from Heretics on the other side. A little bit later on, it felt like a much better moment. And Carlson here pulls off full contact League of Legends. Paris has found a great engage onto Jack Spectre, who has to blow both of his summoners. But because Carlson denies the follow-up from Skewmon, Jack actually gets to walk out and stay alive. That's what we talk about when we say we love to see those top laners in particular, those supports in particular, look for the full contact League of Legends. The other side of it, though, was a few unfortunate face checks.
And those face checks, yeah, they were mostly coming from Certus, to be fair. There were a couple of places for White in as well, but Certus definitely added a lot of that. I gotta say, though, that Jack Spectre, apart from that fight at the Dragon, he was never allowed to live freely in the fight because there is such an easy backlane access on BDSA, and they used it against him very heavily.
And there's the damage. Gen.G on the Rumble cooked people. Again, a lot of that is into Cassante. That's the lane opponent that happens, but there were some really excellent team fights. We saw big equalizers. We saw in that fight there, he roasted everyone alive, and that made a huge difference. But I think Heretics are going to be kicking themselves because once again, they were in a good position in that game, but some fumbles in terms of walking into places where they didn't have control cost them a lot. And I know you were pulling up some stats as well, Solara, saying, I don't think they've won a game from behind this tournament, right?
No, never. This is their 7th game so far as of beginning of the round of 16. And they have a 100% win rate when they're on the ahead at 15th minute. In this game, they were not. They were 2.5k in deficit by 15th minute, and they don't play that well from behind.
We were talking about how important these 15 minutes were. You have the LeBlanc, you see a flash being burned on a Yone. You're like, this is the window. LeBlanc has to pull the trigger early on, or else she loses that possibility of just popping people. That was it.
Yeah, and I think, especially because Rika had not just gone for LeBlanc, he'd gone for Ignite, Teleport LeBlanc. That is, I want to be in every play I can, throwing Ignite, getting the snowball started. And we did see some of that. It wasn't like BDSA didn't have plays. We saw some of them in the B-roll, right? But it wasn't entirely clean. And then Heretics started to play for those side lane turrets. The problem is that when Heretics started to come back, it was that there is a transition period where you are trying to retake control of areas or face check areas where you don't have control that they weren't doing with enough respect, because for all that it was a very burst heavy comp, not so much a consistent DPS comp, there was a lot of burst. The Rumble had enough gold. Rika certainly had enough gold. We saw Kadui hit 3-4 items, and suddenly the Jin is joining in alongside that, not just being utility. Those last few bullets really begin to hurt. And Certus face checks a couple times. We saw White in walk into the river and went, oh God, that looks risky. Fortunately for him, it was only Paris and Skewmon who were in the river. But a few of those moments where players were a little too disrespectful, that one step over the line in terms of where they were going, and BDSA found their windows back in what looked like a game that had fallen away from them at points.
I think we need to look into both sides of the mirror on this first one, which on one side is like, hey, BDSA are looking extremely good. They were capable of recovering that early shenanigan at the beginning. Oh, we have the early window, but we can still play for the late game, as we discussed, with expectations coming in from this draft. On the side of Heretics, I would say I don't think they feel quite comfortable. It didn't look like the Heretics we've seen on the round of 16 at the beginning of this kickoff stage. I don't know. So either they have to adapt, but BDSA are comfortable.
Okay. I know I've spoken quite a lot. My issue is, as I'm not sure I agree with you, I think this is the Heretics we've seen. That's my issue.
This is the Heretics
It's not what we saw in quarterfinals, what we saw on the broadcast. But if you have watched more of this team, we've seen these flaws. They are not a flawless team. From ahead, they are fantastic. They are very smart, intelligent players with good drafting. They can move around the map and take turrets. But when other teams read them, or they are not the ones setting the pace of the game, where they aren't the ones in control of the map, they do face check, they do overstep, and teams like BDSA will punish you. That comp is really good at just doing that. Everyone can engage from 2 screens away.
To be fair, they have been overstepping a lot even in those games that they were winning. The difference was that they were so ahead, they could never be
teleport
successfully
flanks didn't
punished
matter,
or doing
yeah.
any silly things on the Rift. Now, they are getting constantly punished for that.
So the punish is coming in from BDSA. This is the first seed of LFL. They fought for it and they finally got it. And now they're showing the entire world what they're capable of. On the side of Heretics, Heretics picked the blue side for the second game. So they don't want the counter pick. They want that first pick. But the first game is over. We're waiting for the second one. And that's why we have to take a little break before we come back with the champion select. So don't go anywhere. Take a pause. Take a breather. Take a Kit Kat.
I'm eating some more cheese.
Cheese?
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Just saying, I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
He's right. I can dance. Ooh. Oh. Okay.
Pain is gone and left me stone cold. Hey, you just talk for the sake of it. All I got from you are broken promises, but it don't hurt no more. I can feel no more. Love me or hate me, go. It don't hurt no more. You just let me go. I'm not coming back to you. You keep talking, I'm sick of it. The same old stories. I ain't gonna listen to this. No, no, you had me so bad. And drop me just like that. Now turn her back to you, 'cause it don't hurt no more. I can feel no more. Love me or hate me, go. It don't hurt no more. You just let me go. I'm not coming back to you, go on. Down on my knees, you brought me down, down, down. Down on my knees, you brought me down, down, down. Down on my knees, you brought me down, down, down. Down on my knees, but I'm back on my feet again. It don't hurt no more. I can feel no more. Love me or hate me, go. It don't hurt no more. You just let me go. I'm not coming back to you, go on. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, 'cause I know that I'ma win. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, 'cause I know that I'ma win. Feel like I can never lose, put it all on the the line. Every day we gotta choose how we wanna manage time. Yeah, they know I gotta feel it. In order for me to want it. Nobody can stop it when I put my mind to it, manifest and I own it. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. No energy that can move me, I feel like I'm in a movie. One time they try to imitate me, but can nobody else do me. People they know when they see me, they better believe me. I'm going all in when I'm logged in, can't nobody defeat me. I got nothing to lose, yeah. 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 I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win. I'm going all in, put it all on the line, cause I know that I'ma win.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the EMEA Masters. Really good music, and BDSA are one step closer to earning that cheddar as they are one game in.
Right, okay, so while we're here, if you're wondering, you know, if you missed the earlier intro, or at least the earlier pre-show, these guys, him and Initialize, won cheese, right? Because they won the competition, and some good baguette. Now, we're raving about it. We're talking about the brie was soft, melted, lots of flavor. Like, none of that, like, Woolworths brand brie, like, you know.
Bro, Woolworths doesn't exist outside of Australia anymore.
It doesn't matter. People at home will understand, at least from, even though it's a European
It's a
tournament.
European.
Yeah, Australia didn't make it this
It
time.
literally only existed in England and Australia.
Well,
It's been gone in England for like 15 years.
You know what we should do is I mean, Eurovision put Australia in. Why can't EMEA Masters?
What?
Europe, Middle East, Africa, Australia. Put
Get
another
the
A at the end.
Commonwealth in. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Alrighty.
And then Canada.
Well, we are into picks and bans. We're seeing the Ezreal, the Braum, the Rumble.
And more importantly, we were told by our producers and everyone who's French around us that was low-tier cheese. That's crazy. My brain is ready.
I would ascend if I ate good cheese,
Oh my God,
apparently.
please give us top-tier cheese. Okay, I'll bring you back. It's first pick, same again. Heretics chose blue side, and what my confusion is like last time around, I don't think draft really has much to do about it. You liked BDSA's draft.
Yep.
It had a lot of tempo required for it, and I think that's a loosely used word, but it shows that like they needed to keep the pace and they wanted to play for that mid-game setup. They got the game in their hands, but this time around, I mean, getting the Zyra doesn't change things so far, as the Rel seems to be a priority for BDSA. So let's see where their direction goes for game 2.
All right, well, it's actually going to be denied the Zyra this time around. Now, it does actually have a very interesting champion pool. Lots of flexibility in here. Things like the Morgana
He's
came
got
out
the Sedge up, by the way, and Sedge is not a bad option here.
You don't have Yone to pair it with, but you are right. It is up there and available. Maokai banned away, which is pretty typical at this point.
Sedge
You could just go the safe pick and pick something like a Brand if you don't want to go too far away. Going to pick the Leona. Solid pairing with the Misfortune. I think, honestly, Heretics, their draft was really good. They could play the exact same draft. They just need Certus not to kind of run it a little bit. He was a bit questionable in that last game. Going to get his hands on the Corki, so not quite as jump into the middle of everyone and get blown up kind of angle. We'll see what the answer's going to be.
Remember against Supermassive, game 1, Certus had an insane Corki game. Finished it off in the same fashion as well on the same champion. So this is definitely a priority pick for him and one he's done well on in the tournament so far. Well, it also syncs with some of the range added into the composition. BSA had the Ashe left up and available. Yeah. I mean, I think it is just one of the strongest AD carries still in the patch that a lot of teams don't have the same priority on.
It just gives you that safe engage. I know I've said it quite a lot over this tournament, but I just feel like non-committal engage is really, really powerful. The ability to throw something out, and if it misses, it misses. If it hits, you can then follow it up with a Magnet Storm. It's similar to Leona. The Solar Flare, you don't actually put Leona into any danger when she uses that ability. Ashe doing a similar thing, but on a larger range, makes attacking them really, really hard. So I love that pickup for them. Seeing the bans to Diana from Xerxes. We did see that from him the other day as well.
How come Gen X's cam is so dark? Isn't he in the same? Is he in the same room or what? Everyone else's camera, it's fine. His camera, like 50 shades darker. So as we come back to that, I need those questions answered. Orn shows me that Heretics want to kind of lock in Cassante here for Carlson again, put him on weak side. But I'm wondering, because it's part of the engage with BDSA, it would line up with their comp. These could be like pinches to get rid of some of the front line for Gen.X that they expect him to play. With Renekton ban, it tells me that BDSA are fishing for the cannon. That makes sense here. And so Heretics, I'd ban the cannon now and put BDSA on a tank trade for top.
Also, keep in mind, there's things like the Gwen, which we start to see show up more and more throughout this tournament. I feel like Kennen is the ban angle here.
Yep.
But I do think, especially if you're Gen.X and you get counterpick, depending on the matchup.
I'm actually, by the way, I'm dumb because banning Renekton doesn't fish for Kennen at all. It does the complete opposite. Malphite's banned because, again, it shows that they're going to play a tank top. They're getting rid of some Cassante counters as well, or one of them, at least in the Renekton in lane. So that tells me BDSA are going to be Cassante on 4. I apologize. Brain actually just a little bit fuzzy right now. I've had too much cheese.
Would you Cassante here when you have the ability to pick a flex and then also you get a counterpick for top when you know what's going mid?
Yeah.
So I actually quite like this Zeri.
Well,
it's very flexible.
You know, my thought is, like, even though mid's there, a lot of teams have been picking Cassante on 4 because you get the priority top, you deny it from role players like Carlson.
Yeah.
And then you play around with what you can do mid for the comp. But you are right. I mean, mid is the match here. I expect that to be a Zeri mid. Well, Kennen gets locked in here. Does Gen.X play Jace? I think a lot of people in this tournament do.
Rika does.
Rika definitely does.
Gen.X must play Jace. He's been around forever.
Yeah. Dude's as old as time itself. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Okay, I really like this. Yes, I was. I really like this. You get the Kennen here for the top lane, so you have some AP for your profile. Then that allows Xerxes to pick up this not Syndra, Stage 1. He's a weird looking Syndra. Obviously, you don't have that innate synergy of any melees in your solo lanes, but I don't think that's really the end of the world. The Nasus pick up here for Gen.X is the answer. We saw this yesterday, and you're a big fan of the Nasus.
I am indeed, and I realize, you know, that Renekton as well is a double fish. It could have been something like the Cassante as a safe blind, or at least, you know, as a final option anyway, lose the lane, but play for the game. But, you know, also the Renekton for the Nasus too. BDSA, I like this draft. They use Zeri as a double flex as well towards the end. We get the cannon that comes out for top, and you know, while for Heretics, we expect a lot of team fighting, playing for the angles for Kennen, but also that 5v5. I think for BDSA, you have a bit of an element of taking over through some of these solo laners, using some of the pick potential as well. I think the comp is quite flexible. You can team fight as well. You got really good scaling too. But using pick, getting numbers advantage, blowing up the fight, and then turning on the rest seems to be like an easy thing for me to yap about this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're saying I do yap?
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, we got a lot of yappers on this show, to be honest.
We do. I mean, that's what casters, desk people, Archerom. I mean, we've all got egos, you know. Like,
speak for yourself, mate.
No, we do. There is some kind of ego. Every caster has some kind of ego.
I was actually talking about this the other day.
Really?
I don't think that's true. I think ego is an insecure person's confidence.
Okay.
I would say it's confidence.
Well, but why can't I just label it as ego? It can be confidence. Ego doesn't always have to be negative. You can be sure of yourself. But ego, if you're egotistic, right? Certain levels of egotism, I think, is like being confident in yourself. Doesn't have to be a negative thing. If you're egotistic, outwardly egotistic and too over the top, then yeah, okay, it can turn into a negative.
I know it's not league related, but yeah, I the way I look at it, I feel like an ego is either an undeserved or an entitled opinion of yourself, where I feel got confidence is you're assured of yourself.
Well, look, we're talking two sides of the same coin, and that's not my oyster, you know? So
that's not your oyster?
That's not my oyster.
We should feed Archeron oyster, see what happens.
Oh my God, yes. Is he allergic to that as well?
He's allergic to shellfish.
Yeah. I told you. I told you. Everyone's got ego, and he's got shellfish.
Very right. League of Legends, here we are. Let's see what's going on. Nothing out of the ordinary on the room page. There's no surprises there. I'm very excited to see Carlson back on the Kennen. We saw the replay at the beginning of this day on the pre-show. He broke the ankles of I can't remember who he's playing versus now. Supermassive, right?
Was it Armut? No, well, not really It was the rest of
It was like the whole team.
Yeah.
Just under the tower on Cannon. He was so good on it.
Yeah, he snapped some limbs. I mean, that was a rough game, and, you know, Carlson played weak side well, and I think what we said last game is, like, you know, Carlson's doing it again. On the Cassante, he did his job, and it was just unfortunate that Certus threw a bit of the game away, I think, as well. You know, White-In had some struggling team fights, and Heretics, the game plan was there, but unfortunately, the way they played it out in the end wasn't by design. BDSA this time around, I mean, I really like their draft. Pick potential's there. They've got the ability to play through some of these lanes, especially one of the strongest 2v2s in the lane right now. I'm curious about Rel and Ash versus Misfortune Leona, because I feel like very few things right now can stand up to Ash Rel or Kaiser Rel, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of all-in, level 1 strong enough where their dueling is quite oppressive. A lot of bursts out of Heretics comp, but as you can see, BDSA, their threat is enough. They get level 2 first, and Heretics pay respect.
Yeah, it's the power of that volley. It just gives you so... It's very hard to miss volley. Does slows, does damage, it does everything you need it to do.
Yeah.
This Misfortune... I actually feel it's going to be a hard game for Jack Spectre. He has to position very, very well because there's lots of tools to stop them from ulting.
Sure.
And Misfortune, you need to stand still to channel that ultimate to get the most value out of it. So it's going to be one of those angles where they're going to struggle.
I always get disappointed when I see a Nasus cue a minion when Cannon Wave is right there in front of it.
Yeah.
And I think, brother, -12, you know? Oh, what? Yeah, it's -12 because you get
It's
4 a
12.
stack.
It's
don't you?
12 for a cannon, isn't it?
And then you get 3 a stack. And then you get 12, I'm pretty sure.
You get 12 from all jungle camps as well.
Yeah.
So grubs are a really good way to farm them.
Bro, the Mites must give 3 then.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, nice trade, actually. Certus ran into that, and Rika just sits there and whomps on him.
Yeah, Certus is getting really bullied about in this lane. Rika, very, very good series so far. Really putting Certus in his place. And Certus is a good player, but honestly, that last game was kind of on him with his mispositions.
Yeah, a bit unhinged, wasn't it? And that's the problem here, because we talk about Heretics having strong laners and the fact that Xerxes enables them. Last game, he couldn't do too much, and even though they were able to mitigate the early game that started building up for BDSA, as we said, there were a couple of throws and a couple of whiffs. Xerxes this game around on the Sejuani, he goes back into that role. He's a facilitating jungler. He's a supportive jungler. He plays for the team rather than for himself. And here in these lanes, that's exactly what you want to do. Counter Skewmon, because if any of these lanes get to the races on the side of BDSA, you've got trouble. You expect to see attention top for Genax because the Nasus lane can be quite volatile with this cannon as well. He plays towards range trading, and Carlson just kind of has to survive, dodge E, get out of it as soon as possible, and get some trains to set up for Xerxes. Likewise as well, we know Skewmon should be up there, so mitigate early game is what I'm trying to say there. And as a color caster, isn't it nice? It's different. I can yap about the game, talk about all the fun things. It's fun.
Is it freeing?
It's a little freeing, yeah. And you at home have to listen to me, and a lot of people will be like, oh, yes, it's Derek. Very smart. Oh, what's this guy saying? What's this Aussie yapping about is the other end of the spectrum. Both are okay. I mean, as a play-by-play originally, I do know a decent amount about the game. But, you know.
Brother, you are yapping so much.
Isn't it funny? I'm also yapping about yapping.
You literally went on such a tangent there. Oh, my
So we're
word.
talking about top line.
We were. I think
That was
it's
ages ago.
It's dragon time now, mate.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Do you want to talk now?
I don't know what my brain has been fried from just listening to you.
That was the cheese, bro, I'm telling you. Oh,
The cheese did a number on me. Did see a smite come out? I actually don't know who got that.
Skewmon got it. He put the thumbs up, surely. Surely he does it.
You said that with complete confidence, but you actually didn't know.
I saw the thumbs up, and I saw that Skewmon must have gotten it. You only emote if you get it.
Right, is that how it works?
Yeah, it should do.
I think the most tilting people are people who constantly spam emotes.
Oh, you know, Isma from SK. I'm pretty sure we have a squelch him. I'm not sure if Observers did that, but I'll pause because the bot dive's coming.
Yeah, they're looking for Kadui. Xerxes making his way over. They do catch them with the Q, but Kadui is going to be in a real dangerous spot here.
Here's
Instantly
Skewmon.
goes in for the cleanse. Skewmon's come for the turnaround. White-In finds himself isolated from his team, flashes away from the roots, but the slows from the Ash are just too oppressive. They can't get close. First blood for Kadui, second for Skewmon, and Jack Spectre just has to walk away.
We are in Paris for Paros. Man, this guy on Rel, it's giving me LeBron vibes, like a champion that must be banned, and some clean laning and some upsets from Heretics again. Xerxes starts backing away, White-In's going in, and all in all, that's a bit of a disaster when the kills go over to the core carries as well. Watch again. Now, Stun comes up onto Xerxes. Paris buys time, but his W onto White in enables a cleanse and flash to give some space. But the Zenith Blade as Xerxes gets Ignite and starts walking away. Xerxes used his kit. He's used his rotation of spells, and he wants to get out of there. They're unsure about the play and probably suspected that Skumon was on the rotate down. So all in all for BDSA, a good counter punch, and that's great for the bottom lane. When you now look towards top and BDSA ready to do again with Paris already making the roam.
Yeah, he's moving over. This time they've got Carlson in the area, but Gen.G the first moves. Let's say just going to be happy with this grub, but they're still going in for more of a fight. Let's say has to flash away. There's going to be the Wither. In they jump onto Gen.G. Carlson with the slicing Maelstrom secures the kill. The rest of the team getting turned onto. Certus able to break away over the wall as White in with a sliver of HP, making a break for it, trying to get out, but Skumon has his number. Paris finds him. The Zenith Blade comes in, but it's not going to do anything other than give Rika time to get the kill.
Heretics did get 2 grubs, and even though it's a 1-for-1, I mean, at the end of the day, Gen.G was the one that went down, and Carlson just gets to sit here and receive the wave. Rika's going to cover for the time being, and note that the TP was burnt mid. So for BDSA, all in all, I think it was kind of a Heretics play. And you look at the early presence of Nasus, it's not as much as, you know, something like a cannon that pops the ulti, even on the haunting guys there, turns about play.
Big thing about all of what went down is, have you seen bot lane? Jack Spectre got to stay bot and catch the wave, but that farm difference is brutal between him and Kadui.
It is indeed, isn't it? I mean, that's from the gank. Both of them stayed, no?
Yeah, they both did stay, so he didn't even really get a catch-up, but he just got free time where he wasn't under any real threat.
Maybe you should be the color caster. You're paying more attention to the map than I am. That's crazy, no?
The last thing this broadcast needs. I've been ruining the podcast. I got one of the podcasts taken off the air.
Yeah, you did.
There is no way. As Rika loses half his HP, I don't think there's going to be anything else. Just going back to it. The last thing this podcast needs is me being a color caster. That would end terribly. Now, it does look like a Pinster's coming in. Skumon avoids getting caught out here as Paris is going to put some pressure in, gets himself the shield on as Xerxes gets hit by that crash down. Zenithflame makes his connection. They've got one, but it's a 1-for-1 so far. Certus taking a lot of damage. White in as well. He has nowhere to go. He is cooked. Rika, 2 kills.
Getting that Louisiana fry in. You know, Rika, he's got a couple of kills now, and we keep talking about cooking, but I think this is an outdoor barbecue. BDSA, this early gold lead, it started with bot. It started with matching kills on the top side, and I said, good, at least Heretics got themselves grubs, but we keep getting these fights where these scaling ADs or these scaling members of BDSA are getting resources. Look at the dodge here from Skumon. He buys so much time, then turns it about, and Skumon, remember, he doesn't have his ult from the last play. So he actually won that out and kited pretty much everything with the follow-up from White in as well. Without an ulti, Rika then turns about, brings his into measure, and makes it a beneficial trade. BDSA's early game is great, and I'm telling you, I mean, this comp has great pick potential, but I think it's very versatile. I think it's got good scaling as well.
Yeah.
When the Nasus gets into this late game too, you're going to have this front-to-back element with Susan just going nuts on the crowd.
Yeah, that's going to be a real problem. 105 stacks. I believe it was 420 was what you said was the, the magic number.
Yeah, I did say 420. I said, like...
At 20, not 420.
Yeah, 420.
Not that number.
Hey, you cheeky devil. Yo, Gen.G at 108, yeah, is good. It's not bad. It's okay.
I mean, you can get more cooldown reduction, so you should start to be able to stack it up faster.
In the lane, yeah, it's early game is a big point, as you said. Like, I completely agree. But early game as well, when you're going up against Cannon, the Wither does quite a lot for the trading, especially, you know, with auto attacks. We know Wither is a pain in that sense. But also as Skumon.
Oh, Skumon in real danger. Certus able to jump forward with the Valkyrie. Stranglethorns come in, they get the knock up, and now Certus turning it onto Certus. He gets flashed away. Rika just stripping through Xerxes' health bar. Skumon is just the ultimate bait.
He is such a bait, and it must have been the good ward from Heretics that saw Skumon walking from River into that choke point. And it looked like a really smart play from Xerxes, but they just didn't have enough damage. Just Corky doesn't have his first item yet, where Rika, even without, I mean, the Zeri's early damage is enough with that ult. The base damage from Zeri ult, by the way, still needs to be nerfed. I'm telling you, that thing is like, that's like putting a fork into a plug. So as shocking as it's been, You have to go anywhere. You have to go to BDSA's early game. This is turning from bad to worse from Heretics. Every play counted, as now Carlson's in trouble.
Might be one dead hamster.
He's got flash.
Gets himself the ultimate off just to break down,
Stack.
but Gen.X has got the rundown.
Flash, brother!
Wither is so balanced. But yeah, he did have flash.
He had flash. He was withered what he thought he was going to die. I think you trade that if you flash under turret. Arrow? No
Certus
way.
is hit. There's no follow-up. There's no follow-up, so it's fine.
No mercs. by the
No
way.
mercs either. Can they get it? Good Magnustorm lands onto 3. Jack Spectra's coming in.
Oh, no.
Ultimate available to him. Gen.X goes down. That's one for Heretics. Skumond doesn't get the damage onto Xerxes to get the kills. Paras eating a whole heap of damage. Here comes the teleport. Here comes the backup. There's the Zenith Blade. Paras is down. Skumond on the run. Can he find the flank angle? As it looks like Carlson may find himself in a bit of danger. No ultimate available to him. Skumond's E goes a little bit wide, throws down the Stranglethorns, and here comes Rika!
Holy.
Carlson underneath his own tower falls! The volley does it!
Well, at least he had the flash available to survive. Oh, wait. Heretics have just been blasted again. There may as well be Team Rocket in this game. Like, the amount of repeats we're getting is nuts. And, you know, Skumond in that fight was waiting for his ulti. It looked bad because Gen.X didn't have his. But they just keep buying time. They just keep counter-punching after counter-punching. And Heretics are falling into the wayside in this series over and over.
Jack Spectra doesn't have ult, does have flash. I think he's just going to have to walk away. Bot lane, by the way, Gen.X with 4 grubs, and Naxxus is going to melt through that tower. He's just taken
He's having a
2
field
plates. This is a happy doggy.
I mean, I every time I've seen Naxxus in the past month and a half, it's just made me want to play him. If you're not playing him in solo queue already, bro, whip it out. 1350, this guy. Cheap and
Ashar's
full of
back up.
opportunity. It is too.
Jack Spectra's dead. Jack Spectra, he has to flash. Does connect it.
But they lose top for that, and you already said it. Naxxus is pushing into a one-plate turret. First turret blood's going to go over to BDSA. That's 6k. Look at bot as well. Carlson has no summoners, and Gen.X has ulti available. So this Naxxus can threaten and push the turret.
He's getting all plates as well. Massive chunk of cash
I
into Gen.X's
just think
pocket.
this game could be over. Like, I don't know how you ever withstand Naxxus in a side lane. I don't know how you get time for this Corki to scale and get into the game. You need a miracle flank, but you're going to be behind on items, and this Zeri mid has too many resources too quickly.
Do you remember when we saw Heretics play versus Supermassive, and the thing that I praised them for was their ability to prep and kind of do their research and know what they're playing into? I think it's the opposite way around this time. I think BDSA have researched and realized that Jack Spectra just wants to play this Misfortune, so we'll pick comps that handle it.
Yeah.
Really, really good play here from BDSA, and their preparation going into this game, absolutely brilliant.
It's a Misfortune priority that you just nailed. Like, some teams have looked at this and have had success, but like Misfortune, there's been answers to it. You're right. You know, we've had Jin answers, we've had Ash answers within the same series. Hell, you know, things like the Leona on the opposite side have also been shown to have an answer into it as well. And as you talk about and love to talk about, non-committal engage. Great for the Misfortune too, as Paras might be caught out.
Yeah, Paras in a bit of danger here.
No, he's not.
Whiten didn't use the Solar Flare, so that means Paras is able to jump away to safety.
Naxxus
Certus
time.
has been withered.
Holy.
Oh my word!
Kill him.
Oh, Susan!
Stacked. Oh my god.
He got the stack there as well.
It shreds armor. I mean, with Herald down,
Wait, there ain't no way.
there is a big way. Turret's gonna drop. The rotation comes through now, but Gen.X can just use this to get out.
Okay, cool. I was wondering if they were going to commit for something there, but they didn't, and I think that's the right move. Still a bit of a ways here for Gen.X before they hit that 400 at 20. Not much time left to do that.
420, yeah.
400 at 20.
Oh, sorry, yep. 200 at 15 for now.
I don't think BDSA are feeling that relaxed yet.
No. They're not. No, they're not. Oh, man, I like... But they're got to be close because it's 7.5k gold lead at 15 minutes. This, I already said before, like this feels like maybe in the too hard basket. This Corki is going to be struggling all game long, and you know the cannon is going to take a while to get to that 2-3 threshold. He's got Leandris as well, so his team fighting build not there because you want the Hex Tech Proto build to get in. And BDSA, they picked up 4 grubs. They've got a Naxxus in the side lane. He's been free pushing as well. It's crazy. We all thought, well, not all of us, I know Sam kind of defended his position on BDSA, but most of us thought it was going to be a Heretics win. I thought 3-1. You thought 3-0. Flari thought 3-2.
I'm already very wrong.
I am going to be wrong as well because this is going to be a 2-0 start.
And I do want to kind of hit on the point of something I did say yesterday as well, where I genuinely think the winner of the series wins the whole tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Vitality B and Geo do not look good as either of these teams. And right now, BDSA look miles better than Heretics, and at least what we've seen in the first game and a half.
Yeah.
Really, really impressed with BDSA, especially when I think a lot of the teams have been very temperamental in this tournament because from what we saw from BDSA originally, I was a bit concerned about them, but it looks like they've kind of pulled their act together and stepped up in this game. Or this series, I guess.
I mean, both games, right?
Yeah.
And look, for BDSA, remember this, if they win this series, it's an LFL versus LFL final.
True.
So, a lot of people were looking at Heretics and being like, well,
Save
they're not
us.
on their only hope for Spain. Yeah, they wanted some international rivalry, but it's going to be a domestic final, it feels like. Not the domestic final, but at least as close as you can get. And LFL versus LFL, it'll still be a banger. It just won't hit the same. And I mean, especially when we've seen Heretics high highs, that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, Heretics' highs have been really, really high. But I think when you look at like the gold and you kind of just take a step back on this game, we're 17 minutes in, it's almost 9,000 gold lead over to the side of BDSA. I think it's safe to say that this is potentially a little bit of a wrap. So then you start to put your feet in Heretics' shoes and you think, what needs to change going into the next game? And what do they need to do to pull off the reverse sweep, that miracle run to make it to finals? And for me, I've already hit on it, but I think this MF needs to be looked at. I think Jack Spectre needs to drop the priority on it. Heretics probably want to take red side so they can get counter pick in one of their lanes, probably top, but we do also see it sometimes used mid, and then play for that.
I think a complete overhaul of draft on that note as well also does them well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we walk away from the misfortune and maybe we go for a Heretics draft that plays off early game tempo, similar to BDSA, maybe we get something. I'm trying to think of what exactly for Xerxes, like walk away from AP jungles, maybe something like a brand if you are going to go AP jungle, but if not, pull a rabbit out of the hat. Bro, how do you feel about your Shyvana right now?
I feel good about Shyvana.
Yeah, you do?
Shyvana's very, very solid right now.
Yeah. There's certain comps it is.
Yes.
And I mean, that's a rabbit out of the hat. I think right now I'm just grasping at straws because...
I mean, honestly, Xerxes Morgana was insane as well.
Yeah, but
they played so good on that.
You know what hurts the most? The thing about this series, it's the most strange, is I don't even think it's draft. Like,
No,
I think you can comment on
agree on
draft
that.
elements, but I think in game, like decision making, like right now.
Oh, that's a dead Rika. He flashes away, somehow able to survive. And is he turning this? They flash, they get the lockdown. Certus, which is the shutdown, may just die to Paris. They're bringing multiple people in. That is a dead Corco.
Paris.
Teleport comes in from Nasus. I feel like Paris probably should have made sure that went over to his Nasus, but maybe Whiten is going to get run down.
Yeah,
Ghosted, withered.
One.
Nobody close by.
2.
Oh,
3.
Are they going to stack?
Wait. Squirm.
Yeah, no.
Dance on him, yo.
They're trying to die before the Q comes up.
He wanted the stack and he got it.
3, 4, 5. They're a little off our
Oh, okay.
400 stacks at 20 minutes.
This is a small Baron. I mean, you've got Kadui here. So the thing is,
Carlson.
Skewmon is teleport from plant. He doesn't have the setup for his ulti. He's waiting for the turn instead. This tells you that BDSA want the turn for the fight. That's all they're asking.
Teleports are joining in. Carlson is going to be the big one to watch. If he can find it, the angle's going to be big. Ash
make a
Arrow
turn.
hits Jack Spectre, who's forced to cleanse as Genax comes in with the Wither and the ultimate. Baron's already been secured,
no.
and now Jack Spectre left on his lonesome, trying to find the angle to get a good bullet time off. Paris is losing a lot of HP, but the Blast Cone is able to save him. Carlson has to slicing Maelstrom nothing as he is walking away from this one, but Paris hot on the heels has himself the ability to get turned onto, but Certus can jump the wall. He's not even going to get it off. Skumond chasing down Carlson. Carlson, can he break away? Won't get hit by the E. BDSA just getting everything and more.
They are, and like, it's either non-committal engage or it's just picking apart the pieces. They can go for a 1-for-1, but they've got Baron. And with the 10k gold lead at 21 minutes, it continues being more of the same, really. We look at the Rika dive here. Heretics grasping at straws and trying to stop some of this side laning. But as Rika dies, I mean, again, you look at it, Certus is going to drop, White In's going to die afterwards. It ends up being a 1 for 2. They don't get the turret. It's nothing right now that you can look at for Heretics and go, yeah, this is great. I mean, right now, a lot of people have just turned off the VOD and they said, let's see what happens in game 3.
Gone for a cuppa.
I feel like Heretics right now, you know, the goal is you use this time to plan what you do for game 3. You don't sit in this game. You're not talking about this game. Like, you'd be tilted. You'd be like, forget it. You put yourself in a good headspace and you talk about, what do we change for game 3? What is that rabbit that Hysterics keeps bloody talking about on the broadcast? And how do we pull it out? Because draft adaptation is great when you're in this corner, when you're like, hey, drafts haven't been an issue, but maybe something that BDSA are unpracticed against and won't really know how to react to is our way to surprise them and get into the game.
Ash Arrow doesn't make the connection. The Solar Flare connects, and Gen.G, he goes down, shut down, picked up for Certus. So Certus is the light. But I mean,
but look at the other lanes. I mean, Zeri's pushing top. BDSA are looking to converge here, even with numbers disadvantage. They can find a fight here.
Yeah, can they go for it? Magnustorm does connect onto 3. Certus still free firing off. Carlson with the slicing Maelstrom looks to connect onto Kadui. The focus is just spread thin from the side of Heretics. Certus trying to kill the support. Bullet time's pretty big, but the flash comes out. Skumon goes down. Shut down for Jack Spectre, but the base, the base is on fire.
Rika's just now coming in for the flank. He wants the kill. They're that far ahead, it doesn't matter. Jack Spectre with a nice flash and almost finds it, but
he was 1 crit off.
I mean, look, that's, you know, again, they're just flaunting their position. I think BDSA are having fun with them. I think they're breaking down their mental even further. An LFL versus LFL final right now. This just feels like a clean 3-0 for the setup. Watch again. Yeah, what's more to say about this? They're so far ahead. They flaunt. Carlson just gets cleansed. He doesn't have enough damage. That cannon is like 2 items.
Yeah.
If even that. I haven't looked recently.
He has 2 items.
And yeah, Jack Spectre tries to outplay in the end.
I mean, I respect the play from Jack Spectre. Gets him away from Rika. Goes for the kill. Honestly, 1 crit and he would have got the kill and then still would have died, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you know why I sound livid and I sound a little bit annoyed is because I saw this semi-final and I thought this could be a grand final.
Yeah.
This could be a really good series that could be on the main stage at Munich if they're on other sides of the bracket. Because we thought both these teams were the best left standing in the tournament. I'm really disappointed because I think Heretics, not only with the name value, but again with the quality of play that we've seen, there has been some brilliant games, some clean macro, really clean laning phases to talk about. Unfortunately, maybe it's just BDSA's doing. They just haven't been able to react in this series so far.
I mean, it's only game 2, so the optimistic in me.
Well, it's not Fnatic versus top esports, you know?
Yeah.
So, or is it? You're right, it could be. This could be the start of something brilliant. Let's just get this game out of the way first. Okay, let's just do that. So, how do they end? I'll tell you. They use supers through top. Someone has to react to that. BDSA get numbers as they go for the fight anyway.
Flare, big bullet time. Rika getting a lot of damage put onto him, but the locket keeps him alive. Carlson goes down. That is one chunky Nasus. Gen.G, absolute beast right now, and the towers will not last for long. No bullet time to clear the waves. No members to tank the front line, and
wait for it.
This is going to be match point over to the French team. Jack Spectre doing his best to hold. Not going to be able to do so.
He's going to stack the Nexus. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait. Yeah, stack it. Wait. Gen.G, do it, baby. Yeah! Stack the Nexus. Easy. And that's what it was. That was an easy game. BDSA clapped them.
Yeah, I mean, there is no beating around the bush. Right now, Heretics
There's no bush left.
Yeah, Heretics are just a little gapped.
Yeah.
That is really the basics of it.
You know what, to me, I look at that game too and I'm like, bro, is the mental withering as well or what? Because after game 1, that should have been their win. This should be a 1-1.
It's funny because it felt like versus Supermassive. Every play that happened or every pick that happened, or everything that happened, it felt like Heretics had an answer.
Yeah.
And it's vice versa this time. Like BDSA have they have an answer every time. It's really, really brutal now for Heretics because they're on match point, and these have been quick games. Like we're talking sub 30-minute games, and
I mean,
we could be looking at 25 minutes and being done with this whole day.
I just, it's that frustration of game one that's obviously now affected them, and it's after game one of having a clear win con and like not being able to abuse it, not being able to slow it down, to then going to that. I just think after that game, like maybe mental's gone.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. We're going to pass it over to the desk, though, to break this game down before we get ready for game 3.
There's no beating around the bush. That's exactly what he said. I think there's a lot of beating.
Ow.
I'm going there because you brought it after the first game. This is Heretics. They just were cleaner on the second series, and on this third series they're facing BDSA. They're looking exactly like they look on the Swiss stage.
Yeah, and okay. You kind of heard Hipbrain chat about it there. Looking, it doesn't look like they did against Supermassive, but we've got to remember Supermassive were a team that played more as individuals than as a team sometimes. Armut was saying, look, that's the issue we have right now, and we don't have that much time to fix it. BDSA are very much a team. They went 17-1 in the LFL. 17-1 in the LFL, which is obviously, by this point, pretty consistently considered the strongest region there is in the ERL scene. They are no slouches. They have been playing very, very well this whole split. They smashed Swiss stage. They 2-0'd Heretics there. They know this team quite well. They are punishing Heretics' moves because they see them coming. And this time around, they read them like the book. The drafts are very similar in terms of their scaling and ways they want to play the game on the whole. A few lane counter matchups, the Nasses, for example, notwithstanding. And suddenly those reads turn into nasty snowballs that Heretics just didn't have a way of countering.
This game was different in the sense of there was no need for BDSA to rush things, and it was Heretics who started rushing things around this bot lane in this very play, which was a weird one. And the idea here is that we want to have the first blood, we want to have Jack Spectre rolling and accelerated, but it turns into completely other way around. It's 2 kills in the end that BDSA get into their pockets, and from there on, the gold lead starts accelerating.
Want to shout out Paris there as well. Knows that they've got the initial kill, so flashes over to get the mount up to get the flip back on the rel as well. As clean as you like. But you can see every move that Heretics tried to make proactively, BDSA were more than aware it was happening and punished every single time. And then you start getting to the points where, yes, Heretics tried to make something happen, but at this point, look at the gold advantage at the top of your screen. It's nearly 12,000 gold. 12,000 gold at 25 minutes is an obscene amount. And then you start seeing this enormous Nasus with however many hundred stacks it was at 20 minutes. And it looks like a bit of a whitewash. Every single roll is leading in damage by a significant margin. Even the bloody supports.
So when So when I'm a top player, and when I see that range versus melee matchup, you always know, like, okay, the range champion is going to deal a lot more damage on the graphic. And it's a dog.
It's a dog.
It's a dog.
Somebody let it out. And somebody didn't do anything about it for the whole game, to be fair. Nobody was there to stop
Did you put a
nothing.
leash on that dog?
No, you don't even approach that dog. It bites, and you saw how much it bites.
You know, there was that meme of, well, I got that dog, and anyway, the dog was out. It was let loose. It wasn't inside anyone anymore. And like, that is why in some ways you're starting to see a little bit more of this Nast as well, because Kennen, again, when I was chatting to Nightmare a little bit, and we were sort of saying, look, Kennen is wonderful. Assuming you think your opponent doesn't have a counter pick. Blind picking Kennen at the minute, now it's back in the meta for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
People have got answers to this champion. He's not entirely blind pickable. Yes, you might need the AP, and yes, he has a lot of good top lane matchups, but if he doesn't get to be a lane bully, it's rough. And Nasus, as we kind of see, is one of them. You get to Wither, you get to press Ghost, and we saw it. Carlson just got run down in lane for a solo kill once or twice.
Dog outscales Squirrel. Gotcha.
Yes.
Squirrel?
It's Pikachu.
Oh, it's big. Okay, yeah. It's more like it. But to be fair, it is just such a shame for Carlson and for us watching Carlson, because he's such a great counter pick on the top lane. He has so much in his champion pool to go against whatever the opponents are throwing at them, but he constantly has to blind pick on the top lane. He hasn't done it well so far.
Okay, for me then, that asks Mether, especially now that you're 2-0 down, you need to switch to red side, because as we've seen, both of these teams have got players who are ready and willing to counter pick an option that they get. That face says I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not liking it.
I have the information. Heretics lost his second game.
They did.
Wyden is still adapting their Leona. We talked about it. On the other side, the support for BDSA is looking
Paris is clean.
so good, so clean. That is one to look out for in the future. Maybe LEC even. So Heretics decided to finally adapt. And they're going for blue side.
Okay.
No.
The thing is, what I will say is I don't think either of their drafts have been unplayable. It has been the play-in game that has cost them. Game 1, they were very happy with it. Game 2, the drafts themselves made large sense. I do think, obviously, that individual matchup topside got a bit scary and the play bot lane went wrong. But I don't think it was necessarily a drafting issue per se. So in that sense, I'm okay with blue side. My issue is more from a mentality point of view.
Yeah.
Red side is a
100%.
refresh. Maybe you can still do that from blue side, and obviously very experienced players on Heretics. A lot of these guys have been around a fair while now, but still, that worries me a little bit.
Let's switch the roles. You were fighting for Heretics. You were fighting for BDSA. So now you're fighting for Heretics, and now you're fighting for BDSA. I want to know how BDSA can close this out, and I want to know how Heretics can actually pull.
She's
stuff.
doing BDSA, so don't point at me when you say that.
Huh?
She's doing BDSA. Don't point at me when you're saying BDSA, you're confusing me, because we're
I'm
switching
BDSA
around.
now.
Yeah, we switch sides.
So BDSA has to close it out. Heretics
That's the
has
way,
to-
yes.
Even I'm not picking the blue side and red side. Okay, so how can BDSA close this out?
Continue doing what they were doing pretty much, because this is a solid and stable team. While we saw some shakiness from Heretics throughout the EMEA Masters this split so far, BDSA have been much more consistent than them. So I want to see that to continue going, to have really good drafts that are pretty much centered around one idea, whatever that idea is. I'm going to be happy with anything. And just have this early game dominance. Don't let Heretics be in gold lead at any point of time.
Love it. Heretics.
All right, camera
Final
on me.
words. Oh boy.
Heretics, you've created a mess. It's time to clean it up. Go to the closet, pull out that broom, and you need to start sweeping all the way to Silver Scrapes and beyond. This is where it starts. I need to see you shore up that early game, clean up that early game. Make sure that you are not throwing away early advantages. When you are making these aggressive moves, be aware that BDSA can respond. It is not the drafts that are costing you. It is some of your overreaches that are. You are smart players. You are clever players. You can do better than this. You can take at least one game off BDSA. The most important step is the next one, and it has to be a win. Get those gloves on. Start cleaning up. You can do this.
It all
like that.
starts.
It always starts with one word. If you're going to do it, might as well start with that word. It all starts... Wait. Go break. Actually, go break.
Hey, where is it?
Hey, Law.
Yeah?
I need a bit of help with styling since I'm new here, and I was wondering if I could show you a couple of outfits.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing, thank you so much. I'll be right back. I'm a porro snack. Get it?
I don't know, man. No, not really.
I don't know, Law. It's hopeless.
No, it's gonna be fine. Here, let's have a break.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Yes, that's the one. Perfect.
Yeah? LEC, here we come.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the EMEA Masters. Getting ready to go into game number 3 of the series. Heretics have... Are we looking at the same pick bans from last game?
We are, apart from the Ash ban, and we're saying that Heretics are like, well, drafts is not the problem for sure. It's how we're playing the game. And it is true wildly. Not wildly, but accurately. I think the big problem is here, Jake number 1.
Okay. I'm number 1, am I?
Yeah, I'm Jake number 2.
I did come first.
Well, Jake Hipbrain Matthews. Don't know what you just said, but BDSA
I literally am older than you.
Thing.
I have been on the planet longer.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I'm misinterpreted as Xerxes locks in Diana and Leona's there to follow through.
The Diana pick here for Xerxes was actually really nice. He played it into the Zyra versus Super Passive. He
did actually. He did.
We gotta get
and what else did he do with it?
He destroyed them. He absolutely... I'm sorry, everyone. Sterex has set me off, and now he's muted himself to laugh. He's left me. He's just thrown me under the bus here.
So, yeah, so really interesting point. So, nah, banned.
Pretending you got it together.
Oh, my God. What are you saying? What are you saying? In this tournament, bro, this is unhinged. League of Legends After Dark with Hipbrain. Maybe that should be your podcast.
You know what? Should we get off this?
Yeah, we should. Let's get off. All right, so Renekton gets banned away. What is this fishing for? Everyone at home wants to know, don't they? Well, it could be the Cassante on 4 again as a safe blind and then get counterpick for mid because Jin, Rel, it tells you that you want to go for something maybe like the Corki again that could be picked up.
Yeah.
Yasuo banned away kind of shows.
Up.
Yeah, but I feel like with the Yasuo ban, you're probably saying, hey, Corki.
Yeah, I guess the Yasuo is a big one when you're denying that from the Diana Yasuo combo. Kind of.
Oh, you're smart.
We were a little, well, to be fair, we were both distracted.
Like, why is his camera so dark?
He's obviously in a different room. He's in the...
Bro, is he... What?
He's on timeout.
Is he like halfway around the world? Is he in Asia or something? Because, bro, is it nighttime?
It's actually getting closer to nighttime here, but it will be in Asia.
But still daytime. Okay, there's Yone, as you said, by the way, which has been left a little bit later than usual. Also, denial from Certus too. You talk about composition. I mean, this would be another setup point for Diana.
I mean, you can go AD mid here. Like, I mean, you will, but like Jace angle as well for Certus. I mean, no, we saw Rika play it into the Yone. There is the, and Archer's going to like this one, there is the Pantheon option as well as a potential counter, but I think it's just, the Corki. Pretty standard stuff here for Certus. What is going to be the thing that rounds out BDS's draft? And that is the Mordekaiser.
Okay, so I know a lot about this because in LPL, this has been the premier matchup into Cassante in most times as well. You not only outscale the lane, but as for your utility and taking away junglers around objectives is just great. You do what Cassante does, but you keep them in place and you out-duel them and you probably kill them as well. Top lane is such a good response. And I think for Gen.G, he's going to be getting a lot of attention here to see what they can do in the early parts of the game. But for Heretics, we've got another all-in draft, one that, wants the team fight. There's a big go button from Xerxes. Bit of a front to back as well, with setup from those ultimates like the Misfortune Ult, and I already mentioned Xerxes. On the other side for BDSA, playing through sides is a big deal. And also some of these early skirmishes when they hit level 6 is big. So BDSA playing with a bit more tempo again, I would say, in comparison. Just goes to show you they're feeling confident. They've pulled out different style of drafts. I feel like Heretics have stuck with kind of the same thing throughout the series, give or take.
I think the only variance here is this Diana. That's the only thing I can think of, like a very different style of jungle from what we've been seeing from...
But it's still all in, right? It's still...
Yeah, that's the problem. Is I do worry right now is the way the BDS have been playing, they've got to be in Heretics' heads a little bit going into this into this third game.
Absolutely.
If you're Heretics, that's it. It's a French finals. You're done. You're going home. BDS have just done their homework. And again, it's another comp that can handle this Misfortune. The Rel, the Zyra, the Mordekaiser, the Yone. There's so many things that can jump into the backline and just cause issues for Jack Spectra on this Misfortune. But we're on to the Rift for game number 3. of Heretics versus BDSA. BDSA 1 away from going to the finals.
It'd be such an easy semis for them to lock it in as well. Hello to all the people VOD reviewing and looking at this team before Munich finals. For you guys at home who are in the future right now, Heretics have had a disappointing, I would say, start and middle, and hopefully not end to this series. The Heretics we expected coming in had great landing phases, set up off Xerxes sacrificing a lot for his laners and getting them ahead. Carlson playing weak side. And Jack Spectra, again, one of the greatest team fighting AD carries, I think, in EMEA Masters. We talked about that a lot in spring. Again, going up against Kadui, we were excited because as the tickets pop up there and as people can get their tickets for EMEA Masters, just remember that him and Kadui, outside of, I forgot the other AD carry we were talking about last time, probably from French League, but those were like the trifecta of ADs in this tournament.
Yeah.
And they're getting kind of outclassed here. Paris especially outclassing White in. Some of Paris engages have been clean, and on this Rel, he got Rel again. You know,
he's had Rel every game.
That's what bothers me. He got Rel again. Bro is putting a Rel masterclass on, and you don't think, maybe we should get rid of this.
Kadui looked amazing on the Jin in game 1 as well. Really, really good, because obviously people think of Jin more as a utility champion, but he just got snowballed to the point where he was just a total menace, and Heretics, can they find an answer to Kadui here? As it's the race for level 2. Whoever can pick it up first gets control of the lane. As Rika, as expected, and as we see so many times in the Yone matchup versus the Corki, the early levels are a little bit rough.
Well, you have no mobility. You're melee versus ranged, and until you get that soul unbound, where you can start trading and, you know, catching up to the range, things are pretty hectic. So yeah, wave pushed in. Xerxes on this Diana. You know, I was just talking about how Xerxes is going to play. I think the one caveat is like, this is more carry orientated, right? You're leading the engage, but also Diana is a really good snowballing champ. You can take over games because you have added mobility, you have a lot of burst in your kit, and your dueling is actually not that bad in the early game with Conqueror too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Xerxes can do and moving away from this, you know, hey, I'm gonna play through my laners to, hey, you guys are gonna play through me. Let's jungle invade. Let's get in the head of Skumon. I think that's what needs to happen. That needs to be the change.
Well, I'm interested about the build here for Xerxes, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because last time we saw him go Leandries. I can't remember the second item was. It was Leandries insert item. Didn't go the Lichbane build, which
Cosmic
we do see
Drive.
from a more... I don't think it was Cosmic. I can't remember. It might be Zhonya's or something, but
yeah,
what we do see a lot of is the Lichbane for like the burst build.
Yeah. I've seen Lichbane, I've seen Protobelt, I've seen Nashes in some cases. I'm talking about high elo solo queue. A lot of versatility is, hang on, early fight. This is not good for Heretics, I don't think.
Yeah, this is getting a little messy. Kadui has been zoned off as Jack Spectre finds himself in danger. The Deadly Flourish connects, but Certus is doing a lot of work. First blood goes to Kadui. Rika goes down as well. They're putting a whole heap of damage into Jack Spectre. Skumon secures the kill. Can they get onto Certus is the question. Zesty comes in for the flash. Can't make the connection happen. The crash down goes wide. Paris is about to lose the shield. Kadui has to use his Deadly Flourish well. Does make the connection. Here come the plants. Here comes the damage onto Certus. Rika rejoins into the fray. Xerxes secures another kill. Skumon, one for him as well. Xerxes trying to deal with the plants as Rika's chasing forwards. He needs to hit the Qs, and there it is. Rika secures the kill. A 3 for 3 across the board.
Right.
3 for 4.
3 for 4 in the end. Yeah, Rika teleported in to get the last laugh, and
oh no,
they had me in the first half. Here's the second.
It's a 4 for 4, baby. Skumon's going down.
Press E. He's got it.
He's trying to break away Jack Spectre. Can he get close enough to speed up? He's out. No, Whiting's got slow. He's got him.
Okay. 4 for 4. Where is kill allocations? My first question is Rika would be in trouble if Whiting had that Zenith Blade up and available, but Certus just accepting the wave, doesn't want to go for anything anyway. Mess in the start. A perfect way if this is the final game. And, you know, they had me because I thought this is not good for Heretics. You're watching the replays we get in a second. It was messy in the sense that Heretics set up for that fight was them getting collapsed on. Watch the beginning. Xerxes and White in here on the scuttle. They're getting outnumbered initially because the Jin gets first move and Rika does too. But as they follow through, I have to say, Xerxes flashing the Deadly Flourish, not getting locked down, and getting a lot of AoE with Jack Spectre free hitting, turns this into a reasonable fight. Certus as well with early phosphorus bomb damage is still enough to compete here in the duel and play it out as Gatling gun shredding down the armor also helps out too. Paris hard commits, Certus flashes away, and because of that, Certus is able to run it forward, get in a phosphorus at melee range, get some damage down and to help out, and also gives Xerxes that kill in the end. I really want to see where Xerxes is at after this replay, because even though he dies and we fast forward and there's another kill to match out, kill allocation is what you take away from that, and 2 on jungle, 1 on mid, 1 on AD. Spread out finally for Heretics. Kills are in the right place throughout, apart from the Leona. And overall, Gold has no lead. It's just about what was missed in the minion wave too, where Jack Spectra set up the bot actually.
Yeah, looking to come in for a pretty big dive actually. Wave getting trimmed by Kadui.
Scumon's coming though.
Looks like he's been able to trim it enough. Paris is trying to find himself an opening. The Zenith Blade gets stopped. They catch 2. Scumon's coming in. Deadly Flourish makes this connection. The plants are there. White in. Low HP. Xerxes not even in range. This will just be another for Kadui. And can Jack Spectra survive Scumon's onslaught? It looks like he can. Deadly Flourish hits the mark. The plant's not going to do the damage. Jack Spectra's out.
Xerxes knew that was a losing play. As soon, you can see he wasn't moving, but like as soon as Paris engages, there was no movement at all. Even without any vision, they knew Rika was coming down. I've got questions for Heretics. BDSA, a massive counterpunch again, and they've been so good this series at these counter ganks through the early game. It's been Scumon's specialty, where they know, okay, Xerxes pathing, they track it so well. Scumon there as a response, and through that big punch down bot, he's there in the nick of time again. It nets them Dragon. BDSA are losing the grubs, but the trade here in the early game is putting their bot lane into a fine lead.
I mean, all series long, we've seen BDSA trade Dragon, first Dragon for grubs anyway. It's been a very, very common thing throughout this entire series. And it's because they like to play through bot lane. Kadui having such an amazing series here as we do see Rika get jumped onto by White in. I think normally this is the point where we're like, right, everyone's going to take a breather. All of the objectives are off the map. Probably won't see anything. But these teams are just bloodthirsty versus each other.
And they are, and like I'm worried again because even though there's no big dominating gold lead, I'm seeing leads on important places. I'm seeing a bounce back for 80 carry. I'm seeing Rika in a good spot. I'm seeing this Mordekaiser untouched, and the whole map is fighting, but Mordekaiser in an isolated lane here. It's very easy to dominate. It's very easy to build up a lead in individual 1v1 as we look at a 2v2.
There's the lockdown. Jack Spectra eats 1 shot. The 4th shot's not really going to make it smart. Whiten can quite happily hold it.
But you know why he's holding
doing it to zone off the wave.
Yeah, because Jack Spectra's missing minions. He gets experience, but he loses 3 CS because of it.
That's really nice.
That's smart.
They are just absolutely annihilating them down here.
Heretics, it wasn't the case. They were winning the 2v2.
Yeah.
And it's, again, Scumon diff this entire series.
Absolutely has been the case. Scumon's making, I mean, this is why he was the MVP in the LFL.
Yep.
This is why he was the player who Solari said to keep your eyes on. And an absolutely tremendous series. A lot of games on the Zyra as well, getting a lot of love in on that one, so.
I mean, the only bigger question that's in the back of my mind is what prize is there for Artrom's game tomorrow? If the cheese today, which seemed like an epitome. You know, where can he go from there? And that's where we're at in this series.
Well, we can get the wine and then we get the full initialized set.
Yes. How much trouble do we get for having wine on broadcast? Well, I don't think
feel like
Riot
that's
would
not
like
gonna
that.
happen.
That's definitely not going to happen. That's just to confirm, ladies and gentlemen, that will not happen whatsoever.
I can't hope it's more food.
I
had a great time picking out
I
on
would
desk.
love it, like croque monsieurs, but they have to be hot. If you go on hot food in France, it's got to be hot. As Paris is moving across here mid. Look, Heretics with a numbers advantage, but Rika's not going to buy the bait.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's going to be croissants from that place, but I can't say the name of
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a swear word.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't say the name. It's French and then a swear word.
It's a swear word.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a new one for me.
Well,
A French swear word or English swear word?
English swear word.
Right. You can't say it in French?
I don't know it in French, but it's in English.
Oh, okay.
But Archer's been going on about it, and I remember them talking about getting it for the final day. It's croissants.
Okay, maybe. But here's the new problem.
Now he knows.
Croissants need to be hot.
I don't agree on that.
They need to be hot. They're garbage when they're cold, bro.
They're at their best when they're hot. I agree on that, but they are
by
still
far superior when they're hot.
Yes, but a good croissant slaps when it's cold.
Let's say
still.
there's a fast food establishment that we won't name on air. Let's pause. Skewmon comes in, flash away from Certus. That's Paris as well. That's again putting pressure down. Fast food establishment.
Yep.
Hot or cold?
Well, it depends on the fast food establishment.
No, the main one I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know what one you're talking about.
If you get a burger from them, it needs to be hot. If it's cold, it's like, yeah, okay, it's still
but that's
okay.
a burger.
But it doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
No,
Croissants
it's
need to be
not.
hot.
Nah,
Yes.
oh, they're telling us to pause.
No, they're having a pause themselves. Maybe Observer's just upset. You know, I've been talking to a lot of French people in France.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
There's a
wild,
plot
that is.
twist, and they've been saying they actually want BDS, they want Heretics, they're looking at Heretics to win because they want a different final, but it's not going to happen, is it?
Not in those cases. What a strangleforce.
Oh my
The two-man knock up the curtain call coming through. We do have Carlson coming in with the all-out. Zerg stays low HP. The Triumph heals him. There's going to be a lockdown onto Whiten. Gen.X trying to find an end to the fight for the moment as Whiten's making a break for
flash.
it. They do have Gen.X's ultimate. Can they pressure onto Carlson more? Knockup makes his connection. Fourth shot available. Carlson, are they going to get the damage? There's the peel back. Xerxes tries to go for the turnaround, but it's not going to matter. Gen.X secures the kill. BDSA one step closer to finals.
And one step ahead in every part of this series, every game. Their engage tools are clean. Their setup is much cleaner. Their team fighting is better. Their skirmishing is better. By design, the players are just better, aren't they? Skewmon with Paris. It's been the story around mid the past couple of minutes, and it works out. Rika's setup here is brilliant, but for Heretics, they're trying to get these numbers set up. Great ulti from that Yone. It layers up with the wild growth. It layers through with Paris and a three-man. Carlson comes through, but again, the Solar Flare won't do anything. They're not synced up. Whiten showed us this many Leona games so far in the series, and the same thing happens. They're just not synced up on their team play, and it's rough to see when we know they have been in the quarterfinals, but Xerxes just throwing hail to the Mary at this point. What else can you do?
Well, looks like they found Gen.X here, but his shield is absolutely enormous, and they get the root down from Skewmon. Paris doing as much as he can. He's about to get the Magnet Storm back, but it's heavily chunked out. Gen.X tries to find the opening, and actually Certus may find the turnaround kill. Xerxes gets one. He might try and get a love, but flashes away to safety. Everybody's low HP. Paris has that Magnet Storm. He's engaged onto. It's a double kill for Certus. The root comes in from Kadui. One last shot secures him another. There goes Xerxes to Skewmon. The double for Kadui. BDSA take it all.
And again, and again, and again. I mean, it's just happening over and over. I've seen this record a million times, and I never knew you could view music, but I'm seeing it right now in front of my eyes. When BDSA pull off and engage, and it seems too deep, and Heretics get a counterplay, it's outplayed a further time by BDSA. We're in a loop here, and BDSA, they don't mind doing repeats. 5-1 and 5 on that Jin after the play as well, just as it looks good for Heretics. Dragon going to get picked up. Skewmon is again ahead of the curve. And it goes from bad to worse. I don't know what more you can say. The fact that
Carlson dies here.
Every lane keeps losing out. Yeah, Carlson.
He only has a cloth armor. He just has nothing. He's going to avoid the knock-up, and actually that might just have saved him as Whiten slides in. But yeah, he's got a Arcanic Ruken as his only item.
Ruken?
How do you say it? Ruken.
Yeah. Arcanic Ruken, not Ruken.
Oh, I'll say Ruken.
Do you say Hadouken?
Yeah, I do actually.
Hadouken.
I do say Hadouken.
Actually, they're the same thing. Never mind. Solar Flare.
Rika able to break away. Zenithblade did hit Paris, but it caught him mid-crash down, so just interrupts. Paris has honestly had such a good series.
And
He's played amazing.
And I think Whiten hasn't.
Yeah.
I think Paris has had a great series and Whiten hasn't. And you know, it's harsh. I sound like, I'm not going to lie, I sound a bit rude. And I paraphrase that as well because, guys, I don't think Heretics is a bad team.
No,
I don't think the players are bad players. I think this has been a disappointing series because I think they are good, and it's disappointing when good players don't play well.
I was so confident in them, I said they were going to win this whole tournament.
Yeah, so did I.
And right now, I'm looking at them probably just getting 3-0'd and taken out of the tournament.
Yeah, and even though there's not a big gold lead in the game, I start worrying about how sides are going to be played versus Mordekaiser versus Yone. Watch this again, though. Your eyes peel into a team fight that is winnable. Heretics have good damage on Certus, back on his Corki. BDSA get low. They try and find picks. Yeah, the summoner's bird, but Xerxes cleans up here and flashes away. Now, at this point, you hope Heretics get out because they've got what they wanted, but they make this turn onto Paris, but it costs them. It costs them everything returning back into that fight, and maybe White in, you could argue, would probably end up dying with no disengage anyway there. They'd probably get chased down, but it gives BDSA the turn. It gives them the gold in that fight. It gives them the dragon. BDSA being given everything. They're like a spoiled child at this problem. The difference is they're very talented as a spoiled child as well. That's one step away from getting to finals.
Oh no, they're a talented kid.
Yeah.
As Paris is going to get caught here by White, and they use the solar flare down onto him. He's very low. Manga Storm followed up by the face sealed, and oh, there's the bullet time already. Paris has gone down. Rika's forced to flash away. They trade out 1 for 1.
It's a trade again. Paris gets caught by 4 people, and it's a bloody trade. Like, it's not even them just being strong. It's Skewmond again kiting back, and Xerxes gets the full commit.
That is rough. Gen.G, they're going to trade here versus Carlson. I don't really feel like either of them have kill pressure on each other at the moment.
No, not yet.
So Gen.G with that magic vamp can have a bit of stealing for himself, a bit of health. He can be able to heal back up. As down goes the tower, BDSA. Actually going for a drive. I think that's going mid lane.
Yeah.
How good is he at driving?
As long as he can drive. Oh, nice.
Oh, lovely.
This will get mid.
And there it goes. Tower down.
And with one fell swoop, we go from 2.7k to 4.2.
Really, really well used by them there.
And let's not forget as well, I feel like top is sure to follow at some point. You know, there's a very strong bottom lane with 2-item Jin. He's ahead by 2,000 gold. And you know what I was saying before, you know what my concern was, is the fact that, like, you can play this as a 1-3-1, I feel. I feel like you can also play as a 1-4. You know, Mordekaiser can sit the side lane, and remember, he can isolate targets, he can trade, he can buy a lot of time. That's the power of Mordekaiser too. But they can also fight. I feel like right now, if that Diana doesn't get full value on her ulti, then these carries don't have enough items to play by comparison. And the all-in from BDSA, as long as it hits, of course, the all-in commit is very powerful right now, where Zara ult mixed with Yone ult and Rel, the engage is just brutal. And as we've already seen from a lot of the skirmishes, they have been able to play it a lot easier than you'd expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I'm just having a look at the scoreboard on the bottom, seeing a rapid fire cannon static shift 515
to do BF sword as well.
Thingy, yeah, BF sword's big. Jin, by the way, said Thingy. His name's actually Jin.
Nice. BF sword is big. Funny joke. BF sword.
Yeah.
People forget it. It stands for big something sword.
Big frog sword.
Yes, big frog sword. That's true.
That would be a really cool item. That's a TFT item, if anything.
Big frog sword.
Big frog sword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What does it do? Every time you hit someone,
make a frog.
Turns him into a toad.
Yeah. Turns him into Grump.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Mort Dog, I'm here, by the way.
You hear that, Mort? He's here.
I'm here. If you need ideas, I'm your man. I'll give them for free.
Yo, if you need ideas, I'll charge. I'm sorry. I'm happy to give ideas.
You
but
just
I'll
undercut
charge.
yourself or overcut yourself.
No, I overcut because I'm not doing it. Solar Flare comes in, and again, it doesn't lead to too much here as BDSA have taken health bar trades for now.
Yeah, Paris, no Warmogs. He went for the sustain. White in, low HP. Curtain Call, can he find his mark? It doesn't look like it. Gen.G is an absolute monster right now. 2 kills over to BDSA. They get the crash down, they get the lockdown. Carlson kidnaps Gen.G, and there's going to be the kill. 4-1. They do trade it out, but that's going to come at one heavy price. Kadui sent back towards Xerxes to secure himself yet another kill. A double for Kadui.
And doesn't that just tell you the state of the game when Xerxes has to ult Paris because he couldn't get it off in the fight? The Solar Flare wasn't set up for it, and Heretics are in disarray. They are bamboozled.
Yeah, they're looking lost.
They are so dizzy. And BDSA with another team fight win to pile it on. This team is looking dominant in the semis. And we said this feels like the strongest side of the bracket. Well, if BDSA, if only today, are this stronger than Heretics, and especially in this current form, how the hell do you beat them if you're Team Geo or Vitality?
It's going to be a tool loss as we have a look at the play once again. Just so much burst onto White to open it up.
Look at Gen X, by the way. Flashes over, hits Jack Spectre with the ult, and Jack has absolutely no chance. As you know, their front line in Carlson, they aren't able to have traditional fights, and that's what's really been a struggle for this game. They've fallen so far behind that for BDSA, their individual members are greater than the sum of Heretics' parts. And Heretics' parts, even if they were able to create that summoner back to front, it wouldn't be enough as we gear up to do it again. And Gen X is level 13 on this Mordekaiser, who has 2 items now.
Yeah. Not gone for the Crystal Scepter, gone for the Cosmic Drive build here, so can get away from him. That's the if you want a silver lining, there it is. You are able to escape Gen X.
For now.
Unless he ults you, in which case it's doomed. Looks like it's going to be a quick day.
We get to have a sauna.
We're going in the sauna, baby.
We're going to go for a sauna, if anyone at home's wondering. It's a sauna.
What do casters do when they're off air? Let's have a sauna.
Well, I think for Heretics, they're going to need to steam out after this one because they're getting caught again.
Jack Spectre's caught in the Magnus Storm, and down he goes. A rampage for Skumon. Carlson caught by the curtain call. Kadui, that's just another one in his belt. Able to secure himself the kill. Certus flashes away. Deadly Flourish onto Whiten. Whiten inside the Death Realm. He's taken out.
They just can't escape. BDSA can't escape, or rather Heretics can't. They can't escape the team fight, and they can't escape their fate. Another turret. Baron's now free. This will be an 8.5k gold lead, and that's just at the start of the Baron. This is as dominant as Heretics did to Supermassive.
Yeah. She's on the other foot now. Baron's going down. 20 minutes, 22 minutes. They got the last one on 20.
The irony is, Heretics, you know, you'd think they'd have 2 shoes. They've now got none. They're walking barefoot, and in the semi-finals, it feels a little bit like Heretics are going to be homeless, you know? And the hardest thing about that
keep going
is if you got no home, you can't play League. So anyway, more importantly, we'll look at this fight.
What are you going on about?
I don't know. I heard you say what you said in draft, and I've just kicked back my feet. And
he has got his feet up right now.
I have got my feet up because it's a stomp. Like, what do I say about this fight? Gen X saves his ult to the end and takes a clean kill on the White and just hogs the kill. As now we come back and Baron's up. Heretics have yet to break a single turret within this game, yet to pick up a single dragon. They got 3 grubs, and that's the only thing right now that's holding them afloat, but they're not even afloat. Like, you know that meme where that kid's drowning? And it's, you know, and the mum's holding one of them. Well, Heretics right now are that chair under the water with the skeleton.
Yeah, unfortunately so. As Kadui Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon, Static Shiv, Double Doran Sword as well in the inventory. That was for a bit of early game power. Been there for a while as Whiten eats himself a Deadly Flourish.
But Paris threatens onto 4 people, even though 2 of them are in the side lane on his team. This 1-3-1 is so powerful, as we talked about before, because no one can match the Mord for now. They're caught out, and
oh my
they're
word.
winning the 3 versus 4.
Yeah, they've already got 1 kill. Paris is forced to flash away. It's a double for Kadui. Rika's coming. Fate Seal goes down. He's chasing on the Certus. The Deadly Flourish is dodged out. Rika pings back. The bullet time is actually massive.
It is
Secures
nice.
1, but Kadui wastes his 4th shot on a ward. He's going to reload, but looks like Heretics are able to break away. The problem is there's a Mordekaiser sieging bot lane. And he's a real nuisance.
Oh, actually, good Cassante ult though.
Yeah, it does get all outed, but I mean...
Death Realm. Now, he's got W up. Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh my word.
Kill.
Optimistic flash.
I respect it. Respect it. I respect that from Whiten. Zenith played in. I have a feeling no Whiten's dead.
Yeah, I think Whiten's in trouble. Skumon's here. The plants onto Jack Spectre to zone him off. Look at the healing coming in. Gen X actually might be in some danger. The pullback. The damage is huge. 2-man Moonfall comes in from Xerxes. Kadui is here for the tidy up. 1, 2. Xerxes flashed away. Kadui, can he actually turn this more? Skumon in real danger here. The plants are slowing. Deadly Flourish makes his connection. Xerxes looking for the turnaround. The knockup doesn't make his connection. Kadui 4th shot. Is he going to get the 3rd? He's going on the Jin. That's going to be the jump in. The shield's huge. 1,000 gold in the pocket of Xerxes.
Okay, to start, as you could see that Kadui could feel the gas, bro. The soundtrack was on, and he just came in and wanted to wreck, but It stops the Baron push, it stops the Mordekaiser in the side lane, and it stops maybe the Dragon stacking. Rika's here by himself.
He has ult. Xerxes
Is
doesn't.
that the throw? Let's find out. We'll look at the replay. Because they're just, they're doing what they did last game. They're just playing with them. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, let's try and win. We got no health. Why don't we
Wait.
fight this?
Oh, they did stop them.
They did get
stop
him.
Yeah.
But are they dead?
Oh, that's the question. Rika absolutely annihilating health bars. There's a brilliant Magnet Storm. In comes the backup. No. Bullet time's pretty big. Certes over the wall is going to be able to secure one. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but Gen.G feels unkillable. Double kill onto the Mordekaiser. Carlson tries to break away, is able to. Now Jack Spectra's in danger as soon as this Death Realm ends, as he's going to get slammed down. Stranglethorn's in. Gen.G with a triple with the quadra kill.
His grasp brings him into the wild growth as well. That was pretty. And BDS, they flaunt it again. They lose the dragon, but they still clean up the remnants. We're back to square one, it feels like. Gen.G moves to bot, and Skumond will help deal with topside jungle and probably top wave. They'll wait for Rika to come back, and the base will be next. So even though Heretics are getting some shutdowns, they're getting some kills, and BDSA are throwing it around loosely, they're still so damn far ahead that it doesn't matter unless they do it a couple more times.
That was like a 2,000 gold team fight for Heretics
It
in
was.
the bot lane, and they're still down 900k.
And then they lost like another 900 gold afterwards, so it ended up being about 1,100. Ready? You break this one down.
All right, well, they start by getting the dragon. Rika misses onto Xerxes here, but just the health bar from that previous fight is such an issue here because Xerxes didn't get the time to have the reset off. Lovely bullet time, zoning, does catch a bit of damage off, but ultimately, Gen.G is just unkillable. Level 16 on the Mordekaiser. I believe he's 3 items at this point, and no one can deal with him. He's just such a menace.
I love the music you can hear in Spectator.
Oh, it's so
and he
good
comes
music.
out, and that, oh my god.
Bonk.
Yeah. Insane. Well,
Mord Q
Mordekaiser
is satisfying as hell.
said he'll I mean, not only will outscale the Cassante, I feel like he outscaled it, 15, 20 minutes.
Do you remember today we got asked our favorite reworks? I forgot about the Mord rework. I can't even remember what old Mord did.
He had a cute, like a 3-hit passive, like the bonk, bonk, boom. Remember the 3-hit?
Oh, yeah.
And then he had a shield. No, he had the spiky shield around him, the AoE.
Yep.
And his ulti was like, he puts like a ticking time bomb on someone that he kills them, it turns into their soul.
Yes, because he used to take the dragon. Now I remember. That world was fun. Skumon looking for an opportunity. Paris jumps in. Solar Flare lands. Xerxes not going to get caught. The Mank Storm was used. Kadui's already picked one up. Gen.G is onto Certes, though.
God.
That is a dead Corki. Gen.G makes easy work of him off the back of that one. Unstoppable. It's 30 kills at 28 minutes for the side of BDSA. Over a kill a minute in these.
And Wyden's not here. I mean, he took a while to back away. He was looking for a flank onto BDSA after the pick, and as he runs away...
Is this it?
I don't know, 3 versus 5. There's good damage here, enough wave clear. If one more from Heretics dies, that could be it.
Well, there it is. Goes in with the face seal. Jack Spectre just trying to hold his life. Rika losing a lot of HP. Look for the bullet time. It's going to be big. Wave cleared out. Skumon, low HP. They're able to get the kill onto him. Deadly Flourish comes in as Kadui is able to use the cleanse to break away from Whiten. One more shot secures him the kill. Here comes Carson now as he's reloading the gun. Double kill picked up. No, one for Rika. The rest of Heretics have respawned, but Kadui still full HP.
And one person I haven't talked about enough to do him justice is Kadui. I mean, he is playing this game well as Xerxes.
Looking for the opportunity. Xerxes, though, loses too much HP. Deadly Flourish hits on to one. Jack Spectra's going down. He's an assassin on the Jin. Paris is an assassin on the Corki. As now they're looking for Xerxes. Pop goes whoa, she's alive. She's down. Ace.
And look, he doesn't get the last shot, but Kadui on this Jin gets the carry at home. It's been a disappointing series from Heretics, a disappointing end in the semi-finals, but BDSA know where they're going, and they better start brushing up on their German.
This is going to be it. Game number 3 going over to the LFL first seed. Whiten goes down, and Heretics fall with a whimper. BDSA absolutely dismantle them in this series.
A 3-0 that we didn't expect. A 3-0 that for BDSA at the start of the tournament, maybe. Oh, hell yeah. Gen.G, again, that's why his camera is so dark. He's in another room.
Really?
But yeah, no, we figured that one out,
Had the
didn't we?
curtains drawn.
But this team, I mean, hitting new highs. We've had our concerns in the tournament. I think the series short a lot of them up. They dismantled Heretics and put themselves on the pedestal. They get to go to Munich. And they got some time to prep now as well as they wait to see who joins them tomorrow with Vitality and Team Geo.
Well, I mean, I said it yesterday, I said it today. I genuinely think the winner of this series is going to win the whole tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
BDSA 3-0'd Heretics. I think if anything is going to sell you on them, that 3-0 is going to be what sells you. They were phenomenal in this series. You just put water on yourself.
I just thought the lid was on. But the problem is in Europe, they have this thing where the caps come off.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't understand. And like, it's better.
You're just going to ruin the computers.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I kept it clean.
Yeah, technically, you wet it down for a wipe now.
I mean, I literally just did a BDSA.
Cleaned up? Right, well, we're going to pass it over to Usher on the rest of the desk to break that down. Quick day.
And then we go to the sauna.
Yeah.
Oh, we can.
Sauna time, baby.
Good for you guys.
I mean, there's a sauna for you too. You just can't join us.
Yeah,
Welcome back. We have the first team qualifying for finals, BDSA, LFL et al. 3-0. I got some information for all of you, okay? Not only we had a game with 35 kills for BDSA alone, wow, but also without last chance qualifier, taking that out, LFL is 13-0 versus Superliga.
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh, look, okay. I was going to have this whole thing about BDSA finally getting vengeance for 2022, but to add insult to injury, because the LFL have had some doubters in the last few years. There's been people who have been gunning for their heads for a very long time, and it's understandable. They've been doing a lot of winning, and the rest of the ERLs would love to make sure that they got their shot at the title. They did so in spring. We thought the LFL maybe were beginning to fumble a bit. They've turned up to summer and they've said, oh, hell no. And they've done it in such emphatic style. And I think for BDSA in particular, who have finally, it seems, overcome the curse of choking. They were notorious in the LFL playoffs, burning out, looking nothing like their regular seasons selves, turning up to mere masses, having fantastic runs, and then when it matters, losing game 5s. That summer 2022 finals against Heretics, it should have been BDSA. It was supposed to be BDSA, and they lost 3-2 to Heretics. They dismantled them today. They dismantled them in Swiss. I think they're going to dismantle finals as well.
I had hopes for Heretics in this game, and I gotta say there were some glimpses of hope here and there, and this draft could have delivered. It's not very different from what we saw from them in games 1 and 2. The biggest difference probably is coming from the jungle from Zerisei, who had his really shiny moments on that Diana, especially closer to the end of the game around the bot lane, where he got some really important kills and really important shutdowns, especially from the Jhin. But that Jhin, oh my God, that was a big problem.
I think
That's the Jhin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, we've been having questions about what the hell is Jhin supposed to be doing. We've seen some bad Jhin games. This is the absolute opposite. This is the Jhin game you show people to go, this is why we're picking it.
Yeah.
And Jhin from ahead becomes an absolute menace because no one actually survives the false shots. The speed as well, your ability to dance around the fights, to throw down a curtain call a little later on as people are running away and you just have fish in a Summoner's Rift. The barrel becomes everywhere you care to look. And that was stellar stuff. And then you add in the fact that people like Gen.G on that Mordekaiser were breaking people in half and were unkillable. You had another good game from Skumont on the Zyra, who was there every time to turn around what felt like Heretics look-ins to a lot of those plays early on. And it just felt like BDSA had answers wherever you looked. And Heretics, for all we've praised their proactivity, their cohesive plays, when they are being read, when they don't get those early leads, they're much easier to take apart. And BDSA just did it 3 games in a row, Frank.
Yeah, and BDSA showed so much stability throughout this series, throughout their whole EMEA Masters run, to be fair, but especially in this series. They were always in control, and I especially love that it was mainly coming from those people we were highlighting in the pre-show today. I'm looking at Skirmishes mostly in this series because he has been phenomenal. He has been delivering both. I talked about the difference between the 2 junglers. Skirmishes was both at the same time. He was the accelerator whenever needed to be, but in this last game specifically on Zyra, he was one of the carries. Later transitioning, of course, towards the bot lane, towards Kedui, who was insanely fed, but before that, he was dealing insane amounts of damage, and he was really aggressive.
So when we look into BDSA favorites, we talked about briefly at the beginning of the playoffs. are they tournament favorites? That was the big question. After they faced off KC Blue, there was some ideas roaming around in the studio. We were wondering, like, what was this? Was this BDSA? But that was something I was told by someone who watches LFL, like, KC Blue and BDSA are on a different level. You can't compare them to other teams. And this is exactly what they told us. Look at this.
I mean, this was a really interesting fight because it was actually, in some ways, the closest early skirmish we've seen for a couple games. It ended up being in a 4-for-3 that just about favored BDSA, but it got mighty close. That final Thorn Spitter auto from one of those Iron Mans, bringing Jack Spectre down was a huge deal, but it was a clutch fight. But imagine if Jack had survived, able to put out another Q. Paris dies that little bit earlier. Kadui then maybe doesn't get a chance to put off that W. Could flash away, but there's still the second E. But, you know, this fight is incredibly close, but those additional little issues, those additional little extra moments are what gave BDSA the edge, because they are ready and willing to start up fights on a moment's notice and take those brawls. And on top of that, they're just a little bit better. Heretics in most of their other series kind of got to make those moves and weren't contested in the same way that BDSA were ready and willing to do.
That's the difference between how these two teams were walking through the map in this series today. With Heretics not having the full picture, completely different idea for BDSA. They always know that, hey, there is someone who is ahead of us. And mostly in this series, it has been the bot lane that they've been trying to play around. And that's why we see the majority of action in the early game happening on the bot side of the map, because that is where BDSA want to force it.
And when you get to play Jin like this, where the first couple kills have already come in, and now you get to put down the Zyra ult, and now you get to call down the curtain call, everyone else has burned their escape tools. The flashes are down, the dashes are down, and you've still got to move 2 screens away. You're in a narrow jungle corridor. It's pretty difficult. This fight got very interesting because it looked like perhaps with this ult coming through from Jack Spectre in a second, the Heretics could win this. But watch Gen.G, because obviously he goes into that realm of death, and everyone else now has to wait for this Mordekaiser who's going to get the empowered, stats from getting the kill. Actually, no, someone gets over the wall. But then at this point, comes out from the death realm, and Jack is like, oh, I cannot be here. And the pull back into the Stranglehold is absolutely brutal.
There you go.
Damage from the Mordekaiser, damage from the Jin, out of this world.
You have a top laner who played not only the Mord, but also the Nasus versus the Cannon. Gen.G just adapted. We talked about Carlson being able to play on the weak side. Not versus this gentleman. That was devastating. And yeah, and if you look into the bot lane, Jin with a 40,000 gold versus 21,000. That's 20,000 gold difference between the AD carries. And that misfortune was priority on all the B1s.
And I think the other thing I want to note is if you look now back across the damage charts for the last 3 games, it wasn't Skewmond and Marika who were doing the lion's share of damage. Not that they had bad games. In fact, they had good games in a lot of ways. We've already praised Skewmond really heavily, and it was a good game. But they had to do the bulk of the carrying. And we had some questions about, okay, how is Gen.G playing? Messing up a little bit on some of the picks he's gone towards. Actually, Kadui on this Jin, not getting that much value, felt pretty low impact. Not this series. Actually, they were the ones that stepped up and were the ones leading the damage share. And that is what makes BDSA so scary, that in fact, when you need them to, when they're on form, every single member of that team can carry. And again, I haven't even shouted out my boy Paris, who was on Rel 3 games and was absolutely unreal. You heard hysterics. He was like, just ban the champion, get him onto something else, because every game he's finding engages. And the fact that we've been able to go down the list of players and go, they've all been really good, tells you a lot about this team. I expect a number of these players will be trying to get in touch with a lot of those various people who are managing LEC teams, will be getting contacted because they are really putting their name out there as some of the very best in Europe that want to make that next step.
There's a single name I can highlight for that one. Gen.G, and he's waiting for us for the interview. Welcome to the show. Look at that smile. He's back.
That's a great career.
Talk to me. That was clean from BDSA. Were you expecting this sort of performance from your team and you as well?
So basically, we knew that on our way to the finals, KC is our biggest opponent, just from that we've played them so many times. So we knew that today is gonna be it's gonna be easier than KC. Let's just be honest. But I didn't expect it to be this easy. Honestly, I feel like Heretics was kind of when we faced them already in the qualification best of 3, and we won 2-0, which is like, okay, happens. It's not super high stakes games. And then they didn't lose a single game until facing us again. So I expected them to go in with more confidence, to be honest. But they kind of gave us everything we wanted, and we just took our fights. We were never really forced to play their game. We played our game from start to finish, all 3 games. So yeah, I think we expected to win today, but we did it in a very clean fashion, I would say.
So the messiness we got to see versus KC Blue was due to the fact that you've played so many times against each other that you actually know each other. So that's why it was a different series from what we've seen today.
Yes, for sure. Like, I think it's similar to see when some 2 really good LPL teams face against each other. It looks like they're kind of trolling or some things are just wrong. But it's just due to the fact that like we scrimmed and we played. This was the 5th best of 5 against KC. And this always was back and forth. So we know each other so well that sometimes, for example, let's say in my position, knowing, okay, I'm giving him the rumble to take the Kesante, and I know he's going to play this matchup really well, and maybe I'm not playing this matchup so well, but I know that we just need to play for bots, and then me being tanky is all we need to win in certain draft scenarios. This is like what leads to our series against Casey being a bit more messy. Yeah.
Okay.
While I've got you here, Gen.X, obviously, way back in the past, you used to be a mid laner. Then you role swap top. You've played in LEC. You've played in ERLs. What I'm saying is you've played a lot of League of Legends across a lot of metas and a lot of roles. What are you thinking about the top lane meta at the minute? Because it felt like for a long time we were just seeing Cassante, Renekton, and the Rumble was banned most of the time. And then it felt kind of solved. But it feels like people have started playing AD carries top, the Varuses, the Zeris. We started seeing things like the Mordekaiser and the Nasus come out. So what's your read on the meta at the minute, especially as a top laner who is playing some of those slightly more interesting picks?
Oh, it's really fun. Like, I remember, like, this is the first time since I'm a top laner where the meta is really, really open. Like, there's games where in draft meeting I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess we just pick Vladimir here. We go Yasuo. Did we play it in scrims? No, we didn't. It's just first time. It's just because like you can get through lane with a lot of champions, and I feel like right now the game is being played around bot very heavily, and punishing top lane is rather difficult. Which just makes it so that you can lane with anything until minute 15 at least, and then you're gonna be strong, right? Like, it's not even about winning lane that much, I think. Like, you can also see it on the way Mervyn plays in the LEC. It's not always about winning lane. It's just about having a really strong character in the sense of a 5-man team comp. It was the same in this last game where I played Mordekaiser. My champion is so crazy good against the enemy team comp. Like, I was thinking, even if he would pick a matchup that's maybe not so favored for me, I would maybe still went Mordekaiser just because it's so good against like Diana, Leona. And yeah, I love playing this meta, and I think I'm also the king of this meta actually, due to the fact that I played, due to the fact that I played mid lane, I even played support and competitive actually for one tournament. So yeah, I can pick up any champion, play it like for Munich. I'm gonna have a lot of fun stuff ready.
Oh, are we seeing in Italy?
Yeah, that's a promise actually. I quite like it. But Gen.X, I want to jump on something that you just said yourself about how the top lane meta is so open, but it's reliant on the character of the team and on yourself, of course, as a top laner. I want to ask you about that. About what is it specifically in BDSA right now that allows you to be so free with your picks on the top lane?
I think it's because we don't need me to, like, how do I say this? Like, we don't need me to engage. Like, I think there's some teams who have good carry top laners, but then I end up seeing them always picking the Cassante or the Ornn or something anyways, because they feel like as a team they need to engage, but we are like really good at understanding the positions we want to fight in with the team comps we have, which allows us to play like we can play a Vayne top with no real engage, and we will still manage to play a decent game macro-wise, just because we know how we want to play those champions. Because I think all of our players are on a really high level individually, and we see the game very similarly. So yeah, this just makes us be able to maneuver any team comp.
Now, looking into Munich, you're going for finals, you're going to play it live as well. I want to get a grasp of what's your favorite memory so far as a player? if you can go back, what's your favorite memory so far as a player?
My favorite memory.
Yeah. It's a tough one, I know. It's a tough one.
I mean, when I was promoted into the LEC as a mid laner in 2019, that was a very amazing moment. And in front of big crowds, it's like, it's so awesome to play in front of crowds. And during my time in the LEC, I didn't manage to get to play in front of a really big crowd. The last time I played in front of a really, really big crowd was in the Prime League, which was in front of like 3,000-4,000 people against Avende, actually. I lost, sadly. But still, that feeling of playing in front of so many people, having your loved ones there watching you play is just amazing. And it's going to be the same in Munich again. And I'm just so excited to play on the stage and to show our best performance there.
But tell me, what do you feel when you're surrounded by thousands of people? You're playing your game. Like, it's your passion. You're showing everybody your passion. What drives you? What do you feel as a player?
It's really crazy, like especially when you play a champion like Gangplank, for example, where the barrel is really loud because there's a lot of bass on stage. Like when you land like a 3-man barrel, oh my god, it's like the best feeling. Or when you land a big corky rocket or a big Mordekaiser EQ could also be it. Like the moments that make that turn the fights. Those are the amazing moments on stage.
So
and I love playing those.
Are you nervous about going to that big stage for Munich?
No, not really, because I also know that my possible opponents, they are gonna be nervous. They have way less experience than me when it comes to this, and I kind of feel good when I play on stage. Like I feel homey on stage.
So, what do you think is the greatest thing now for the finals? You're already qualified. Everything is good for you. So tell me, what do you think is going to be the most important things for Munich with the team on stage?
For us as a team?
Yeah.
This is a good question, actually, because I feel like we just need to play our own game. And I feel like our losses in the spring split in the final and in the EMEA semi-final taught us a lot. Like we grew so much from these losses that I think right now we kind of know exactly what we want to do, how we want to do it. And yeah, I think it's just gonna depend on the day. Like we will need to show up on the day, but even if maybe we don't show up perfectly on the day, I think we're a team where no man is left behind. So I think we're gonna have a great performance no matter what.
Okay, so I really love that answer because it really leads into a question I wanted to ask, which was BDSA have a notorious habit of getting to important matches and fumbling. We've seen it a lot with the BDSA organization. I remember summer 2022 finals. I cast that series where Heretics beat BDSA at the time to win that championship. What is going to be different this time around for you guys? How are you going to avoid that? Because you finally won an LFL split. You're going into another EMEA Masters finals. How are you making sure that the curse doesn't come true again?
I think you almost kind of said it already. I think us winning the LFL is the last magic stone in our Thanos fist that we needed in order to be
snap those fingers.
Yeah, exactly. In order to be fully unstoppable. And I think it's just due to our losses and the wins we had in the whole road of coming here, the good days in scrims, the hard days in scrims, we just grew so much as a team that it's just the confidence in each other, the trust in each other that will lead us to victory.
Love it. Gen.G, I'm not stealing more time from you. Congratulations going into finals as well. Congratulations for BDSA as well. I've seen you as a fan. Now I'm talking to you as a host, and I can wish you nothing but best of luck and keep shining. You're a bright star. Have a lovely one.
Thank you very much.
We got ourselves a team. And on finals, oh boy.
I think once again, we are seeing that if you judge a team off one slightly awkward series, you do not get the full picture. This is a team that smashed the LFL. 17-1, I think, was their regular season record. They beat KC in the finals. Obviously, a team that everyone knows was very, very good as well. They then come and smash the Swiss stage. And the round of 16 series isn't the cleanest thing ever, but they still 3-0 it, right? Or is it, no, sorry, 3-1 it. And anyway, the end result is this team is phenomenal. They grow. They've got exceptional players who know exactly how they want to play the game, the flexibility on top of it. Just listen to Gen.X there. Listen to how eloquent, how confident, and how keyed in he is to this team and this tournament. And you can't help but feel those finals are going to be pretty heavily favored for BDSA.
So it's good in the end that today wasn't the finals, that it wasn't the match but the finals. Yes, exactly. But we are lucky because we are still going to see BDSA in the finals in Munich. And that is such an interesting team to watch their progression throughout the EMEA Masters, because right now they have evolved into a team that understands their weaknesses and their strengths extremely well.
You know what? I know a lot of people on social networks were talking about LFL again. Come on. If you want to beat the best, you got to be the best. And I'm talking this, and I'm the host for NLC. So I'm taking this in hard as well. So if you want to be better, you got to be better. With this in mind, it's going to be LFL versus LFL for final. We'll still have Vitality B versus GO tomorrow. That's the next semifinals we're going to watch. I want from both of you a prediction for GO and Vitality B. But before that, I'm giving mine. Vitality B withstands. It's one of my favorite players in the world, by the way, Stan. Oh boy. But I think GO is going to win due to the history.
Do you?
Because they came in from last chance qualifier. They fought through everything. They took down Spandau. This team is not playing around. I think adaptation, evolution is big. I know it's Vitality B. I know everybody on chat is like, oh, this guy. I don't care. I believe.
I like your anime protagonist arc that you're going for with Team GO there, and I understand
Big
where you're
Deku
coming
energy.
from, but at the same time, you cannot deny that Vitality B have been looking really damn scary throughout the series so far.
100%.
And you can call me boring all you want, but I'm gonna stick with them winning the series.
I think it probably goes to 5 because, of course, it
Yes,
does because GO's
God,
involved.
please.
Yes.
But I still think Vitality B are probably better because I think GO are not the same team from behind. We saw it in that semis versus Matchco, who I think, despite not being the cleanest with the lead, was still able to hold on against the side of GO. And I don't think Vitality B are going to be as lax with the lead. And I think on the whole, when we've seen those teams face off in the past, it's been pretty Vitality B favored. I like the way they're drafting. I don't think they will be pleased with their quarterfinals performances. And obviously these LFL teams know each other very well, which does make things a little bit harder because you just know these players better than you might otherwise. I still think Vitality have the edge. I think the lack of early game consistency will hurt GO in the long run.
You know what? But these are all predictions. We have no idea what's going to happen. What we do know is that's going to be interesting, and that we want you there watching with us at the same time as today. It's the usual schedule. So until we meet again, we love you very much. Keep climbing on that ladder. Never give up. And I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.
Freely using Katarina's cook.
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Kindred cautiously
Cook Kit Kat cupcakes.
care freely using Katarina's cute cookie cutters.
Ooh, I'm on it. I'm ready. Let's go.
You know, I don't really do this too often. I'll be good for real. Just watch. Yeah, hey, how you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about action, we don't say. We about action, we don't say. Come for the crown, I need my fitting. I don't stay in rooms that I don't fit in. She swear that I stay up on her mind like a fitted. Ain't that cash? She probably wouldn't give me time if I ain't out. Please see me, email me. I need all formalities. I need all incentives. This money's about the only thing I mind, like my business. That's black on the type of wave I've been on. It's always got to crash like it's Windows. Need all of that and more. Give me all the glow. Give me one play. I'm on 24. Kobe right in that hour. Shot wet just like showers. Tell me who got all of that power. Oh, that's me. I carry loaded team. I get that ring. I'm MVP. Know that they envy me just like cement. I'm in these streets. No opportunity. Knock at the door. I give you keys. My mama raised me selfish. I don't share. I play for keeps. And that's all game time. Know that win all mine. I'ma keep it, baby. How you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about actions, we don't say shit. We about action, we don't say shit. Yeah, how you gon' feel when I take it? Yeah, how you gon' feel when I take it? We about action, we don't say shit. We about action. Tell me how you gon' feel. Yeah. When I take your spot, tell me how you gon' feel. Yeah, only thing I need is time and the rest is on chill. Yeah, tell me when I take your spot, tell me how you gon' feel. Tell me how you gon' feel. Yeah, hey, how you gon' feel when I take it? How you gon' feel when I take it? We about action, we don't say shit. We about action, tell me how you gon' feel.
Hey, can't stop, won't stop till we on top. Quit, I think not. Coming hot for the #1 spot, yeah. No key, got the game on lock, ayy. Big threes when I take my shot, ayy. On the rise and we ain't gon' drop. On the grind, it's our time, just watch.
If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown because our time is now.
Ayy, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Ayy, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. We can't be contained when we leave the game. My name will remain. We don't need the fame. You can keep this chain. We broke free, so things won't be the same. Nah, on the mission, gotta get it. Let's work. You were raised on the net. I'm raising my net worth, but it ain't about the money. Nah, it ain't about the cause. All that matters is the world knows who we are. Stars.
If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it